Welcome to Bon Secours Wellness Arena, home of the Greenville Swamp Rabbits, as we write another chapter in the I-85 Rivalry as the Swamp Rabbits and the Gladiators meet for the 8th time this season. Good evening, everyone. Guy Chiarenza with you here on the Gladiators Broadcast Network, and this one should be a fun one, as it seems like every time these two teams get together, it comes right down to the wire. 6 of the 7 prior meetings between these two clubs this season have been decided by 2 goals or less, and the last one was an absolute barn burner in which the Gladiators took the final score 7-4. And so, this being the 8th meeting this season out of 14, looking forward to seeing what we get here tonight in the Upstate. Gladiators are playing in their 30th game this season, starting a 3-3 tonight with Greenville. Tonight we're at Bon Secours Wellness Arena, and then the next 2 days, Sunday and Monday, we will be at Gas South Arena as these two teams continue to write more chapters in their historic rivalry. Tonight is the 197th meeting all-time between Atlanta and Greenville. Gladiators and Swamp Rabbits both bit on a bit of a slide here tonight. Both teams have lost their last 2 games. Atlanta, their last 2 to Savannah, now falling to 21-8 on the season. 42 points on the season has them sitting in 3rd place in the South Division. And for Greenville, they got a little bit of that on Tuesday as they fell to the Ghost Pirates, who are now on a 7-game win streak, their longest of the season. With Greenville's lost on Tuesday, they now fell to 13-14-4 on the campaign with 30 points on the season. They are currently sitting at 5th place in the South Division. And so there is a chance here for one of these two teams this weekend to make up some ground after losing it with a couple of losses over the last week. We'll see who comes out on the right side up at the end of this 3-3. For the Gladiators, in their last time out, they were in Savannah, falling 3-2 to the Ghost Pirates. Savannah led early, 2-0 to score 7 minutes into the game. First goal was scored off of a screen. Second goal was scored off of a tip-in. And for the Gladiators, it was a bad beat to start, but Jack O'Brien gets them on the board late in the first period. Now has 3 goals in his first 4 games with the Gladiators. That made it a 2-1 game. After 20, Ghost Pirates were able to extend their lead again to 3-1 with a power play goal from Zabane before Peter Morgan scored in the 3rd period to make it a game at 3-2. But ultimately, the Gladiators would end up falling in Savannah, losing back-to-back games for just the 2nd time this season. Ryan Nolan had an assist on Morgan's goal, now has 3 assists in his last 2. Carson Denemy has been showing out as of late, had an assist in that game as well on O'Brien's goal. He now has 1 goal and 2 assists in his last 4. And for Ethan Scardina, the youngster for the Gladiators, in his first year pro, he had an assist as well, now with 1 goal and 1 assist in his last 3. So despite the back-to-back losses for the Gladiators, there are some positives coming into tonight's matchup against Greenville, a team that they have really had their way with so far this season. The Gladiators are 6-1 against the Swamp Rabbits this season, and they have won the last 6 meetings. Greenville took the first one on November 5th at Gas South Arena in the day game to end the Gladiators' 6-game win streak to start the season. And ever since then, it has been all Atlanta in this rivalry. Greenville trying to bite back here tonight and climb closer and closer to the top 4 in the South. But Atlanta trying to get closer and closer to first with a date against South Carolina, who's in 2nd on Friday night next week, and a couple of matchups against the Everblades at the end of the month on the season's longest road trip. So for Atlanta, there's a chance to make up some ground here tonight as they've played the least amount of games in the ECHL to this point. TJ Semptimphelter stopped 26 of 29 in the loss to Savannah. For Semptimphelter, rare game where he gives up 3 goals. In fact, that's just the 2nd time this season in which Semptimphelter had given up 3 or more goals this season, as ended up stopping 26 of 29 in what was just his 4th loss this season. Semptimphelter makes back-to-back starts for the 2nd time this year. See how he fares here tonight, as Semptimphelter this season is 1-2, coming off of a loss on the campaign. Atlanta special teams went 0 for 2 on the power play in Savannah last Saturday. They went 1 for 2 on the penalty kill. So we'll see if the Gladiators can get back on the right side up when it comes to the power play here tonight against a Greenville penalty kill that is a top 10 unit in the league. And we'll see if the Gladiators' penalty kill can gain some momentum after surrendering the power play goal in Savannah last week against a dreadful Greenville power play. It operates under 10% and is statistically the worst unit in the ECHL. Gladiators trying to get back in the win column here tonight with win 22 on the campaign. For Greenville, just trying to find some kind of traction here at home this season. They are 7-10-1 in this building this season, and they lost 4-1 on the road at Savannah on Tuesday. And for Greenville, they've just been up and down this season, really haven't found their groove. look to do it here tonight. Cam Hausinger might lead the way for them. Had a goal, the lone goal in their loss on Tuesday in Savannah. Hausinger now up to 3 goals and 5 assists for 8 points in his last 6 games for a nice point streak. Gladiators will look to shut down number 38 here tonight en route to another victory. Ryan O'Hara had the lone assist on Hausinger's goal as Isaiah Seville, back from Ontario, stopped 31 out of 35 in the loss. Greenville's power play went 0 for 2, and their penalty kill went 5 for 6. And more on this Greenville special teams. Greenville's power play 9.7% this season. They have just not been able to figure it out on the power play this season. In fact, Greenville has been scoreless on the power play in their last 6 games, 0 for 13 in that span. And the last time they scored a power play goal was against these Gladiators on the 21st of December at Atlanta. It was Josh Atkinson scoring with 4 seconds left to break a TJ Semptimphelter shutout bid in what was a 3-1 Gladiator victory. So we'll see what this rivalry brings for us here tonight as Atlanta meets Greenville here on a Saturday night to kick off a 3-3. Coming up next year on the Gladiators Broadcast Network, we will get to the keys to the game presented by Beaver Toyota Mazda, and we will also take a look at the starting lineups here tonight in Greenville. All that on the other side of the break here in upstate South Carolina.
Tonight's game is brought to you by the ECHL, celebrating its 38th season of affordable family entertainment. The ECHL would like to thank everyone in attendance for your support of ECHL hockey. The ECHL would also like to recognize the following league sponsors: AMI Graphics, exclusive signage provider; Athletic Knit, official jersey supplier; Baron Rings, official championship ring supplier; BFL Canada Insurance and Sutton Special Risk, sponsors of the 2026 ECHL Hall of Fame induction ceremony; Dash, official mobile auction platform; The Fairley Group, official commercial insurance provider; Flow Sports, exclusive streaming provider; Hotel Planner, official hotel reservations partner; Howie's Hockey Tape, exclusive hockey tape and lace provider; In Glasgow, exclusive puck provider; Prolific One, exclusive secondary ticketing partner; and Warrior, exclusive on-ice equipment provider and title sponsor of the 2026 ECHL All-Star Classic. Catch all of the ECHL action live in high definition by logging on to flowhockey.tv.
Gladiators back at Bon Secours Wellness Arena for the 3rd time this season. Atlanta is 2-0 in this building on the 2025-26 campaign. Last time we were here, 7-4 final. Highest scoring game the Gladiators have been a part of this season, and they won that game with 3 goals coming from defensemen, the following 4 from forwards, in what was the first game in the Gladiator uniform for Jack O'Brien and Nolan Orzek. And we'll see if they can continue to light the lamp for the Gladiators here today. O'Brien, the all-star for the Gladiators, has 3 goals in his first 4 games as a member of the Gladiators. All right, let's get to the keys to the game presented by Beaver, Toyota, and Mazda with our head coach, Matt Ginn. Key number 1 is to manage the puck. Short but simple. That is something that the Gladiators kind of struggled with against the Ghost Pirates. Got off to a tough start, weren't really winning the face-off battle in both of those losses to Savannah, and as a result of that, didn't do a great job of managing the puck. Hence, the 2 losses to the Ghost Pirates. We'll see if the Gladiators can get back on the right side of things here tonight. Handle the puck well, use their vision to their advantage, and escape Greenville with a win. Second key is to win the hard areas. This is something that the Gladiators at times this season have done really well, as when they've been winning games, they've been winning those battles along the boards, especially along that yellow stripe that runs along the boards, and really finishing their hits, taking pucks away, and making chances and scoring chances happen out of that. So that is the second key. And the third key is to play connected. It felt like at times against Savannah, the Gladiators were a bit discombobulated, weren't really on the same page. We'll see if they can get back to their A game here tonight and play a connected style of game here tonight in Greenville. Those are the keys to the game with head coach Matt Ginn, presented by Beaver, Toyota, and Mazda. With that, let's get to the starting lineups here tonight in Greenville, as we have got a good one on tap here for you. We'll start with the home squad. The Swamp Rabbits will send out number 20, Ryan O'Hara, the rookie at left wing, standing at 5'10", 180, native of Oakville, Ontario. having a good rookie season for the Swamp Rabbits so far. 4 goals, 11 assists, 15 points in 31 games. Had an assist on Tuesday at Savannah. O'Hara has been one of the reasons why the Swamp Rabbits are somehow still in the playoff mix despite being struggling to score this season. Nice start for the rookie so far this year. Right down the middle, number 72, Patrick Polino, the veteran, standing at 5'9", 180, native of Buffalo, New York, with an A on his sweater for the Swamp Rabbits. He has the team lead in assists with 12. 5 goals, 12 assists, 17 points in 29 games for Polino this season. As his starting right wing here tonight is the hot hand, the number 38, Cam Hausinger, standing at 5'10", 192. The alternate captain for the Swamp Rabbits is currently on a 6-game point streak. 3 goals, 5 assists in his last 6 for Hausinger. Has the team lead in goals with 9 and points with 19 in 31 games this season. Getting the start on the back end for Greenville, number 40, Parker Berg, standing at 6 foot even, 181. Native of Edmonton, Alberta, is under contract with the Swamp Rabbits AHL affiliate, the Ontario Reign. He'll be paired up at number 5, Jake Murray, standing at 6 foot 3, 216. Native of Oakville, Ontario, will round up the starting 5 skaters for the Swamp Rabbits. As getting the start in between the pipes for the Swamp Rabbits here today is number 31, Isaiah Seville, standing at 6'1", 196. Last time the Swamp Rabbits defeated the Atlanta Gladiators, it was Seville who was in between the pipes. Seville on the season has a record of 3-4, 2.72 goals against average, and a .920 save percentage. Recently spent some time up in the AHL with the Ontario Reign. Tonight he is making his 8th start for the Swamp Rabbits this season, as they are led by head coach Chad Costello and associate coach Jason Payne. Now getting the start for your Atlanta Gladiators is number 16, the captain, Cody Sylvester, standing at 5'11", 192. The native of Kelowna, BC, is hitting an important milestone here tonight, playing in game 262 with the Atlanta Gladiators, tying him for 4th place on the all-time games played list for the Gladiators with Brad Shell. So congratulations to Cody Sylvester here tonight. Just continues to put up milestones this season. And on the campaign, Sylvester at 20 points in 29 games to the tune of 8 goals and 12 assists on the season. His starting center here tonight is number 19, Jack O'Brien, standing at 6'1", 184, native of Denver, Colorado, has 14 goals and 11 assists for 25 points in 29 games. What a pickup he was in a trade with the Iowa Heartlanders at the turn of the new year. His starting right wing back in the lineup from Milwaukee, number 22, Isaac Walter, standing at 6'4", 205. The Swedish forward is back with 13 goals and 10 assists for 23 points in 25 games. He has been sensational in his rookie season for the Gladiators. He was named the Rookie of the Month in the entire ECHL for December. He has been on a streak when he's been in the lineup. We'll see if he can continue his dominance after spending 4 games with the Milwaukee Admirals, where he logged 1 assist in that span with our proud AHL affiliate. Getting the start on the back end is number 39, Chad Nychuk, standing at 6'1", 194. Native of Rossburn, Manitoba, is under contract with the Milwaukee Admirals. He will be paired up with number 21, Jack Mateer, standing at 6'6", 205. Native of Sault Ste. Marie, Ontario, is under contract with the Nashville Predators, our NHL affiliate. Nychuk on the season has 3 goals and 22 assists for 25 points in 28 games. Mateer, 1 goal and 3 assists for 4 points in 18 games. And getting the start for the 2nd straight game is number 35, TJ Septemfelter, standing at 6'1", 190 pounds. Septemfelter under contract with Milwaukee is headed to the All-Star game on Monday. And it's easy to see why. In 15 games, an 11-4 record, a 1.55 goals against average, a .943 save percentage, and 1 shutout on the campaign. He has the best goals against average out of any goaltender in the ECHL to this point, and the 2nd best save percentage, trailing only Vinny Purpura, the Gladiators saw on Saturday with the Savannah Ghost Pirates. The backup tonight is number 31, Ethan Hyder, as the Gladiators are seemingly back at full strength here tonight. albeit for the exception Brendan Less placed on IR today. But the Gladiators do get two big names back in the lineup. First one is Walter. Second one is Mike McNamee back in the lineup for the Gladiators here today. McNamee, wearing number 27, will slide in on the second line for the Gladiators after missing the last 11 games. It'll be McNamee, Young, and Nolan on the second line. And on the third line, Denemy with Cipollone and Francis. Fourth line will be Mickey Burns, Ethan Scardina, and Peter Morgan. On the blue line, second pairing, Conroy wearing 8 with 74, Dylan Carabia. And the third pairing, Andrew Jarvis wearing 6, and Nolan Orzek wearing number 9. Once again, Brendan Less out of the lineup, was placed on the IR earlier today. Non-dressers are number 11, Zach Yoder, and number 23, Riley Uphels. Gladiators are led by head coach and director of hockey operations Matt Ginn, assistant coach Zach Fennell, equipment manager is Ben Ellis, and our athletic trainer is Nick Nelson. Three-man officiating crew here tonight in Greenville, led by referee Chaz Nochi, wearing number 33. Linesmen are Phil Rusler, wearing number 73, and Noah Ackerman, wearing number 62. Gladiators and the Swamp Rabbits have hit the ice here in Greenville, as the Gladiators are wearing their blue jerseys with gold numbers and Gladiator gold trim. They will skate from right to left to begin play here tonight. Greenville wearing white jerseys with orange numbers and blue trim. Coming up next here from Greenville, the national anthem, as this concludes the Gladiators pregame show on the road here in Greenville. After this, we are back for the start of the first period. We are all set and ready to go here from Bon Secours Wellness Arena in Greenville, South Carolina. Guy Chiarenza with you here tonight on the Gladiators Broadcast Network as these two teams meet for the 8th time this season. Let's get to the goaltending matchup here tonight. As for Greenville, they will send out Isaiah Seville to make his 8th start of the season with a record of 3-4, a 2.72 goals against average, and a .920 save percentage. He will look to lead the Swamp Rabbits to their second win against the Gladiators this season. The first was back on November 5th at Gas South Arena, and that was the man between the pipes in that victory for Greenville that day, which was a 3-1 win for the Swamp Rabbits on the school day game. Across from him, the all-star for the Gladiators, number 35, TJ Semptenfelter, with an 11-4 record, a 1.55 goals against average, and a 943 save percentage, and one shutout on the campaign. He is one of the league's best. Semptenfelter under contract with the Milwaukee Admirals is the league leader in goals against average and is second in save percentage, only behind Vinny Purpura of the Savannah Ghost Pirates, who we saw last Saturday. Gladiators are getting back to full strength. Isaac Walter back in the lineup. He's returned from loan from Milwaukee. Mike McNamee back in the lineup as well after missing the last 11 games due to injury. Should be a good one here tonight in the Upstate, as Patrick Polino meets Jack O'Brien for the opening face-off here tonight. Once again, three-man officiating crew here tonight in Greenville. Our referee here tonight is number 33, Chaz Nochi. Linesmen are Phil Roosler wearing number 73 and Noah Akamon wearing number 62. Puck is down and away we go from Greenville as Atlanta has it off a face-off win from O'Brien. He'll knock it into the far corner to the left of Seville. First man on it is Berg, shuffles it to Murray, gets it to the line, but not out. Kept in by Mateer. Bronze it to the left wing for a shot on goal from Sylvester. Steered over to the far side by Seville as the puck jumbles out to center where Walter reels it in. Tries to send it cross ice, pass is intercepted by Polino on a crossing route, almost runs into his own man, and Hausinger is able to slide it around the boards to the far corner. Hausinger and company trying to work in there. Hausinger on a 6-game point streak, 3 goals and 5 assists in that span. Sees the puck go deep in his own end as Nychuk taps it down. He'll head off for a change just 50 seconds in, and on is the second line for the Gladiators, Young, McNamee, and Nolan. McNamee back in the lineup for the first time since December 6th against Jacksonville. Missed the last 11 games due to an upper body injury. Here he is on the right wing. Scampers down below the goal line. On his backhand finds Conroy up top. Drifting right, looking to the goal, takes the shot. That goes wide of the mark. Jolted back up top for a shot by Corabia. Tipped in front and just goes wide. McNamee was putting some heat on Seville. Here is Young from the line, taking a shot. McNamee with a second effort gets it back to Young for a backhand shot that hits a leg and goes into the near corner. Out of the pile comes Shandor. Greenville able to escape the Atlanta pressure for now, as Atkinson feels some heat from Denemy, is able to locate Dante Sheriff, who streaks up ice. Tries to bounce to the right wing. Gladiators have it covered. Good defensive play by Conroy, as he is able to help the puck along, as Corabia outlets back to the left wing for Conroy. And on the left side, pops it ahead, off the stick of Denemy to the near corner. Players jumble together, whistle blows. Just 1 minute and 57 seconds in. Looks like the Gladiators were offside on that zone entry, hence the whistle. Our first of the night. And you can still make your pick as to who is going to score the first goal of the game and factor in with the first assist. First goal and first assist brought to you by Hancock Whitney Bank and Pinnacle Promotions, respectively. Head on over to our social media platforms to enter your vote. There are some prizes attached. Greenville wins the face-off. Young feeds it to the right wing for Murphy. Will pop it into the far corner. Orzek tripped up. Greenville keeps it. No call as the Gladiators try and shuffle the puck out of their own zone. Swamp Rabbits drive it deeper. From the far corner, Jarvis hacks it off the wall out to the neutral zone for Cipolo. New York native and national champion with Quinnipiac. Scoots it over to the near side and heads off for a line change. Wade Murphy, in his first game with Greenville after the trade earlier this week with Greensboro, works it in deep for a centering chance that just goes over the stick of O'Reilly. Greenville continues to rotate. You fire it to the end wall where it's picked up by Peterson. He is bounced off the puck by Jarvis. Carrying it ahead is Denemy. Over the red line. Tries to prod it to his left. Puck jumbles into the slot where it's scooped up by Berg. Over center circle, tries to feed it left. Gladiators sniff that out as Denemy and company move up ice. The back pedal to Mateer, who locates Morgan on the right wing. They'll throw it to his left for Nychuk. Gains the attacking line. Centering feed, hits a skate, burns from below the goal line, tries to center for Scardina. Swamp Rabbits pick it free, knock it the length of the ice, and no icing, despite the good effort from Mateer. 16:35 left in the first period. Burns comes in right down the middle, but it's all for naught. Gladiators are offside on their latest zone entry, with 3:30 gone by in the first. McNamee already making an impact on that second line in his first shift back. And he is on a 2-game goal-scoring streak, if you think all the way back to the 5th and 6th of December when he scored in back-to-back games against Jacksonville. Out there now is the first line, Sylvester, O'Brien, and Walter. O'Brien wins the face-off. Carabia gets leveled in the neutral zone by Big John Parker Jones. John Parker Jones is a big, big man, and Dylan Carabia found that out pretty quickly. Parker Jones, 6'7", 230. Able to pop Carabia in the neutral zone and work the puck in deep. Sylvester tries to take it in off the near wall. Polino with a shot that gets blocked. Hausinger gloves it down. On his forehand, spins it deeper for O'Hara. Now jolted to the left point for Atkinson. Surveys the scene and drops it around to the near corner. Racing in is Parker Jones. Backhands it to the slot, but nobody is there. Conroy picks off the pass and moves up ice with Walter. Right wing shot hits the end wall. Inching in on the left side. Jarvis has it for a quick shot that's blocked by Parker Jones. Puck goes over to the far wall now. Greenville slaps it out to center, where it'll be hauled in by McNamee. The Gladiators look to break out again. Here is Jarvis out to the neutral zone for Young. Moving stride for stride is McNamee, who shuffles it over to the far corner for Nolan. Backhands it for a quick pass to Orszak. Centering feed is gobbled up by Seville. Good work for that second line. McNamee, Nolan, Young. Each one of that trio touched the puck, and McNamee was the finisher right in the slot. Right idea, but Seville is able to rise to the occasion and absorb that shot with 15-12 left in the first. Faceoff will be to the left of Seville, and false start on that comes down to Semptimphelter. He'll push it right back. Shot count 2-0 in favor of the Gladiators to this point, where in a game that has not seen a lot of shots on goal in the opening 5 minutes. Gladiators win the offensive zone face-off. McNamee backpedals it over into the near corner. There is Jarvis to pull it in. The defenseman working in deep, gets checked off the puck at the end wall as the Swamp Rabbits start their charge up ice. Cross-ice feed, hits the stick of Shandor. He'll backhand it to the slot where it's kicked by Alex Young to Nolan. Cross-ice feed. Return to Young. Chases it into the near corner. Deep in Swamp Rabbit territory. Greenville able to knock it back out to the neutral zone. Nychuk over to his D partner Mateer. Starts the next breakout for the Gladiators. They'll drop it down where Seville comes out to play it. On the near boards. Lovell finds DeYoung. DeYoung sidesteps the pressure from Denemy. Looks up ice with some space. And has Peterson on the move. From the right wing, peels up. Floats it down deep. Swamp Rabbits continue to rotate to the line where Murray can't keep it in. Cross-ice feed, just out of the reach of Francis, and that'll go down as an icing against the Gladiators with 14:01 left in the first. See a face-off near TJ Semptimphelter is yet to see a shot come his way so far here tonight. Joey Cipollone will take this face-off up against Ryan O'Reilly. Cipollone this season, 1 goal and 3 assists in his last 4. Has 5 points in 7 games against the Swamp Rabbits this season. Wins the face-off in deep. Gladiators try and muscle out the center, and they do. Denemy finds Cipollone, trying to create some separation. Centers for Francis, but it's intercepted by Berg. Quickly on a rush up ice, Swamp Rabbits come in. Left wing shot, blocked in front. Carabia got it, Conroy got a piece of it. And Gladiators able to force them back out to center. 13:30 left in the first period. Stretch pass off the stick of Peterson. Semptimphelter will come out to play it as Atlanta able to knock it up ice. Cipolone enters on the right wing, checked by Atkinson off the puck. Sees Peter Morgan try and race into it into the far corner, but he is beat there by John Parker Jones. Morgan continues to hustle, able to knock it to Burns. From the right wing, shoots, saves Seville. Puck loose in the far corner. Burns continues to work against Parker Jones. Nice job for the Mercyhurst product, continuing to stay with it. Takes it into the far corner where he's pinned up there. Board battle ensues. Morgan digging deep as well. Burns able to kick it up the wall where it's snatched up by Peterson. Swamp Rabbits move it D to D and out to their own blue line for a touch pass. That sends Poisson up ice. He is checked hard by Carabia. That draws a penalty. Carabia will touch up, and we'll see the first penalty of the night with 12:31 left in the first. Dylan Carabia is going to take a seat as tempers start to flare here in Greenville. First power play of the night belongs to the Swamp Rabbits. As when we come back, Gladiators will head to the Beaver, Toyota, and Mazda penalty kill. We are back to Greenville after this in what has been a scoreless affair to this point.
Life's too short for ordinary whiskey. Make it infamous. Now available at Mega Package Store, 2820 Lawrenceville, Sewanee, Oregon, 4 miles from Gas South Arena.
We're 20, and yeah, we're celebrating big. Because in 20 years, we didn't just make the gear. We made hockey cool. They said we were too loud, too flashy, too different. They told us to tone it down. The Warriors don't tone it down. We go full throttle. And this is just the start. 20 years in and we're just getting warmed up. We're still the brand that makes the gear you can win in, chirping, partying. And if you thought we were bold before, just wait. The next 20 years start now.
Here in Greenville, Swamp Rabbits are set to go on the power play. Dylan Carabia in the box for Atlanta. This is a Swamp Rabbit power play that has not scored in its last 6 games, 0 for 13 in that span. Worst statistical power play in the league, operating at a little over 9%. And the Gladiators open their penalty kill with a clear. Penalty kill that is operating at 83.7% and is 12th best in the ECHL. Paulinho slingshots it back. Mastronato takes it on the move. Finds a man left wing for a shot. That goes wide of Semptimphelter. They rotate it to the line. Paulinho off the wall. Lays it to the end wall. Gladiators able to drive it out from there as Nychuk gets the job done. Still scoreless here in Greenville. 11:50 left in the first period. Swamp Rabbits start their next attack on the man advantage. Dump it in on the right side. Jarvis gets there first. An extra effort from Burns helps the Gladiators to another clear. And I'm not quite sure how much time is left on the penalty kill for the Gladiators as the penalty was not added to the score clock. As Sheriff works in front for a tip-in try, Gladiators punch it free and send it down the length of the ice again. O'Reilly takes it in on the right side. On his backhand, centers for Sheriff. Intercepted by Young. Sent to the outside. Retelled in by Wade Murphy at the right point. He'll chuck it to his left. Greenville holds. Back across to Sheriff right circle. He'll shoot, kick, save Semptimphelter. Rebound comes back up top. Berg gets a lay of the land. Moves downhill. Pass across. Tipped by Young and sent to the near wall. Fighting with it. Tries to get a piece of it to send it out. Greenville hangs on for now. Distributes deeper to the trapezoid. Nychuk is there working with Mateer. Those two trying to get a hand on it to punch it out. Greenville with 3 guys down in the near corner. Able to get the puck back. Push it to the left wing for a shot. That's blocked in front as Carabia is out of the box. Gladiators get the job done on the penalty kill and start the night 1 for 1. Carabia out of the box after serving his boarding sentence. The first penalty of the game. 10:15 left in the first period. Sheriff floats one on goal to Septemfelter, who puts a paw on it with 10:09 left in the opening frame. The Gladiators get the job done on the penalty kill, and there wasn't a whole lot going on for the Swamp Rabbits on that power play. Towards the end of it, some good puck movement, good job of distributing the puck, but all in all, produced about maybe one shot. Shot count now 4-2 in favor of the Gladiators. Face off to the left of Septemfelter on the near circle is blown dead. We'll get a do-over here, as O'Brien will take the face off against Hausinger. O'Brien's won another. Orzek flings it to center circle. Greenville gets a touch on it as they feed it to the right wing. Hausinger from the wall finds a man in the corner. That is Polino. On his forehand, geeks towards the goal, puts a shot wide, and has his own rebound on the far wall. Jabs it to the line, reeled in by Atkinson. Rips a shot into the near corner. Players converge there. Out of the pile comes O'Brien, able to shoulder away Polino and set up a chance for Orzek up ice. He'll find Walter back inside for a shot by Sylvester. That's rejected by Seville. The best sequence of the night for the Gladiators offensively so far results in a big save by Isaiah Seville, and Greenville ices the puck. 9:25 left in the first period. That group of Swamp Rabbits has to stay out there as the Gladiators send out the third line. Cipollone, Denemy, and Francis. And it really feels like for the Gladiators that even though they get Walter and McNamee back in the lineup, it really feels like if they are going to be one of those teams that is dangerous once the weather gets a little bit warmer, going to need a little bit more from 86 and 71. Ryan Francis and Joey Cipollone. And Carson Denemy, 3 points in his last 4, has been heating up as of late, but for Francis, he's 1 goal away from 50 pro goals. It really feels like he is due for a big game. Cipollone wins the face-off for a shot at the line. That gets tipped into the near corner. Denemy crashes into that corner, trying to keep the play alive, but Swamp Rabbits bouncing out the center, and on the move was O'Hara, but he gets stood up by Carabia. Gladiators back up ice, twist the puck into the near corner. Murray escapes the heat. They shuffle it to the far wall. Peterson over to Hausinger, and the Swamp Rabbits start their next breakout. They'll dump it in. O'Reilly is cut off by Carabia. Clearing attempt held in and juggled and sent out of play. 8:53 left in the first period. We'll see a face-off to the right of Septemfelter. This is the first game of a 3-in-3 between these two clubs. We are here at Bon Secours Wellness Arena tonight, and then tomorrow at 3 o'clock, these two teams will play at Gas South Arena. And on Monday, at Gas South Arena again at 1 o'clock. You can get your tickets at AtlantaGladiators.com and get them before they're gone. They are going fast. Face-off won by Greenville. Shot from the left wing, blocked by Young. Puck goes into the far corner. He'll chase it there with Sheriff. Swamp Rabbits emerge out of that corner and set up a chance at the line for Sheriff. Distributes to Mastrodonato. Drifting right, keeps the play in. From the right circle, takes a shot. Septemfelter sees it and grabs it with 8:29 left in the opening frame. Timeout on the ice. We'll take one as well. We are still scoreless here in upstate South Carolina. We are back to Greenville after this.
Wendy's has new chicken tenders. Crispy, juicy, tendery tendies. Ooh, that's fun to say. Tendies, tendies, tendies. And they're so good, maybe we should change our... For tendies you're gonna know by name, gotta be...
Gwinnett Fire and Emergency Services is ready to answer the call, but we'd rather prevent them. Our free home safety survey includes checking smoke alarms, identifying common hazards, and reviewing your family's home escape plan. Schedule yours today.
Why choose between getting things done and doing things with the ones you love? With Kroger's same-day pickup and delivery, it's easy to shop the same great prices and quality you'd find in-store, so you can catch more family time We'll bring your groceries right to you. Satisfaction guaranteed, so you can spend time on what matters most. Kroger, fresh for everyone.
Still scoreless here at Bon Secours Wellness Arena in Greenville. Guy Chiarenza with you here on the Gladiators Broadcast Network. To resume play, we have a face-off to the left of Semptenfelter. Alex Young will take it against Hudson Shandor. And the Swamp Rabbit the victor. Murray contested at the line by McNamee. Good work. Knocks it away from the defenseman to set up Young up ice. From the left wing, centers. Matier with a blast. Sends it to the goal. Puck is loose. Gladiators try to punch it in. McNamee's backhand try. It's just popped wide. Young has the rebound. Floats it back to McNamee. From below the goal line. Takes the shot from a sharp angle. It would not go, and the Swamp Rabbits take it up ice. They're offside on their zone entry with 8 minutes left in the first period. And for the first time here tonight, this game really blew wide open. Got a good look at it here on the Jumbotron. Long shot by Matier, stopped by Seville. The puck was loose. McNamee with a backhand try. Tries to just to get it to go, but didn't hit anything. Just went wide. Didn't quite have the angle, and then had another chance from the goal line on the near corner, and just missed by a hair. Jarvis leaves it for Orzek. Slides it ahead. Hits the stick of Poisson, and he will turn up ice. Ben Poisson working with Brackett. In on the right side and thwarted by Burns. Strips him of the puck. Feeds it to the right wing. Scardina simmers down a bouncing puck and tries to charge forward, but pinballs around on the right wing. Burns fights for it, but beating him out there is Tim Lavelle. Lovell on the right wing tries to get things going for Greenville. Instead, they think things over and end up playing back to DeYoung. 7:20 left in the first period. Gladiators have given up the first goal each of their last two games. 0-2 Savannah. They have won 11 straight when scoring first. Orzek from his own end wall pulls the puck in. Quick touch from Burns, and Scardina's on the move. Trying to hit Walter on the fly, but ends up hitting a skate and going back to the Swamp Rapids. O'Hara will control. Pops it to the neutral zone. Quick pass to Polino. Over the Gladiator line on the right wing. Feeds it down to the trapezoid. Semptenfelter comes out to play it. Ends up losing it in front. The Gladiators are able to make a defensive stand and turn up ice as Conroy wires it in from right to left. O'Brien crashing in. Throws a check on Parker Jones in the near corner. Greenville is able to shake the puck down. Rainbow it just under the scoreboard in the neutral zone, where it's handled by Conroy. He'll charge up ice, drifting right on his backhand. Gains the attacking line. Off the wall to himself. Ryan Conroy doing it all. The Yale product works in deep. Greenville is able to snatch it away and dump it back out to the neutral zone. Gladiators winning the possession game here, though, the last few shifts. And Sylvester in that first line look to set up shop. Dylan Carabia from his own zone. Jolts it to the neutral zone where it hits the stick of O'Brien and goes in. First line goes off for a change. Under 6 minutes left in the first. Swamp Rabbits push it to the right side for Peterson. Sidesteps over the line. Feeds it to his left for a one-timer that's kicked away by Semptenfelter. Thinking that shot was Wade Murphy. Back in his second stint with Greenville. Francis to Denemy. Quick shot over the goal. Would not go. Good chance for that third line. Here is Murphy on the left wing. Drops it off for a shot. Semptenfelter rejects it. And the rebound is punched away by Cipollone. Matier has it in his own zone. Fires it left wing for Nychuk. He'll gain the attacking line. Feels some pressure. Connects with Cipollone. Cycle it back up to the line for Jarvis. Right point shot. Hits the stick. Goes between the circles. Two Gladiators overskate it as Cipollone appear to get high-sticked. He'll head off to the bench. No apparent penalty in sight. Shandor on the right wing. Slides it to the trapezoid. McNamee touches it for Orzek. The Gladiators start their next breakout. They maneuver to the neutral zone. Jarvis for McNamee. Gets stuffed at the line by DeYoung. Now before dropping it in deeper, Gladiators see the puck jumble out to the neutral zone where fresh off the bench, Conroy pulls it in. Langle it off the near wall for Young at the blue line. Loses a hand on it. McNamee gets it back. Shot hits Young. He'll take one himself. Ends up pinballing to the right point for Carabia. Feeds it to Conroy. Has a man on the left wing. McNamee backhand try. Goes through the slot and out of play with 4:15 left in the first. Couple of good chances from Mike McNamee so far here tonight, but still a scoreless affair in Greenville. Shot count is 6 for Atlanta and 6 for Greenville with 4:13 left in the first. We are back to the Upstate after this.
It's game day and Bucky's ready for action. From the moment he pulls up, it's all smiles, high fives, and Beaver Toyota pride. A quick stop for snacks and he's game ready. The energy in the arena starts to build because when Beaver Toyota and the Gladiators team up, the fun and excitement never stop. Catch Bucky at the next Gladiators game or visit us anytime at beavertoyotacoming.com.
Still scoreless here in Greenville. 4:13 left in the first period. First period this season has not been the Gladiators' best scoring period this year. They seem to be one of those teams that gets better and better as the game goes on, as they win an offensive zone draw, but ends up splitting the D. Conroy has to go back to neutralize to retrieve it. They'll find O'Brien up ahead, who quickly locates Walter. Right down the middle, he shoots. Just goes wide of Seville. Walter takes it to the corner. Pops it to Sylvester from the trapezoid, tries to free it back to Walter, but he hits the deck courtesy of Atkinson as traffic converges in the near corner. Parker Jones from his backside loses it, but Greenville is able to toss it through center and all the way down for an icing with 3:40 left in the first. So we'll see another face-off near Isaiah Seville, who to this point has stopped 7 of 7. DJ Semptenfelter has stopped 6 of 6. Semptenfelter making back-to-back starts for the second time this season. Gladiators trying to get back in the win column after back-to-back losses to Savannah last weekend. Gladiators this season are 4-2 off a loss. The shot from the right point gets blocked. O'Brien tries to pull it in and take one himself, but Greenville is able to rip it away and turn up ice. Here's a chance off the crossbar from O'Hara. Backhand chance would not go. Here's a chance on the left circle for Atkinson, but he has it stolen away. Puck goes to the wall. Gladiators in a battle there. Lose it as Atkinson pulls in. Left side shot, kick save, Semptenfelter, and he has the rebound as Polino was crashing the net, and Semptenfelter comes way out to no man's land to make that save. And get a good look at it here in-house. That shot from O'Hara just rang off the crossbar, and the Gladiators get a little bit of help from the iron. Face off to the left of Semptenfelter. Poisson will take it against Scardina. Gladiator the victor as Jarvis is able to wheel it to Orzak. He'll slide it to his own blue line. Scardina tries to backhand it to Burns on the move, but Greenville is able to cut that off as Murray slides it up ahead. Looking for Brackett. That rolls off his stick. Pulls it back in after a pinball's back to him. Scrambles down the right wing after being pressured by Scardina. Brackett finds Murray at the right point, feeds it to his left. Go back to the near side for Brackett. His shot's blocked by Scardina. Puck available in the near corner. Scardina with a couple of chances at it, cannot clear. Puck is kicked over to the far corner now as Berg pinches down. On his forehand, centers just out of the reach for Remy Parker. Momentum will carry the puck back out to the neutral zone with 2:15 left in the first. Pete Mastrodonato, otherwise known as the Maestro, has it in his hands as he drops it off for DeYoung. The Swamp Rabbits will move up ice. The right wing Shandor finds DeYoung on the entry. Go backhand it behind Semptimphelter where Carabia is waiting. Distributes to the near side. Swamp Rabbits kick it up top. Sheriff can't keep it alive. Puck him out of the zone, and Greenville's forced to retreat. Carabia, the Florida native, finds Conroy. Tries to exit his zone, ends up turning it over. Good hustle, tries to get it back and does. Locates Denemy on the left wing. He'll throw it up looking for Cipollone. Ends up finding Tim Lovell. And he'll wheel through the neutral zone to set up Greenville's next chance. Right down the middle, leaves it for Sheriff. Toe drag to the backhand. Muscled away by Cipollone. O'Reilly now in on the right wing, drops it off for Mastrodonato. Centering feed, hits a stick for a shot from Lovell. That is snatched by Semptimphelter with 1:09 left in the first. And afterwards, we have a gathering near Semptimphelter. Sheriff in the thick of it. This is Alex Young, and it looks like Chad Nychuk getting into it as well. Sheriff and Nychuk exchanging pleasantries here as we are still scoreless in the first period of this one. Coming up next here from Greenville, the first intermission report. We'll recap this first period. Look ahead to the second. Take a look at the out-of-town scoreboard and look ahead to what is to come on this 3-3 as the scene will shift to Duluth for tomorrow ends Monday's games. Face-off to the right of Semptimphelter. Alex Young will take this face-off against Ryan O'Reilly, and he will win it for now. Stripped away by Greenville. O'Reilly at the left point. Dishes it down to the end wall. From there, Young will rainbow it out to the neutral zone. McNamee tries to split the D, but Atkinson cuts him off. 50 seconds left in the first. And Greenville is going to slide this puck down. No icing. Nychuk hunts it down. Feeds it to his right for Nolan. Pops it ahead for McNamee. Tries to split the D again. Has some separation. McNamee just fires wide. What a first period he's having. But his fourth good chance to score here in this first period. He couldn't get it done. Puck out in the neutral zone with 25 seconds to go. Matier has Nychuk. They'll trade places. Nychuk on the left wing. Throws it into the middle. Off a stick and it'll plop down in the far corner. Nolan on the forward check. Working hard. Tries to set up something for Conroy. Off the wall. Sylvester gets it to the line but comes out to center ice. 5 seconds to go as Carabia pounds it in, and that will conclude the first period here in Greenville. Some good chances for the Gladiators to score in the first, but ultimately could not get it done. Here's a look at that McNamee chance at the end of the period. Those of you on Flow Sports, and nice chip and chase. Chipped it past the D, just blew right by him, but one-on-one with Seville, did not have the angle, ran out of real estate, just put it wide. Gladiators nothing, Swamp Rabbits nothing. We're coming back in a few minutes here for the first intermission report. We'll recap the first period of play, look ahead to the second. We'll also take a peek at the out-of-town scoreboard and talk about what's to come at Gasout Arena over the next 2 days to cap off this 3-3. All that coming up on the other side of the break as it's the Gladiators and Swamp Rabbits scoreless here on a Saturday night in January. We are back after this.
It's game day and Bucky's ready for action. From the moment he pulls up, it's all smiles, high fives, and Beaver Toyota pride. A quick stop for snacks and he's game ready. The energy in the arena starts to build because when Beaver Toyota and the Gladiators team up, the fun and excitement never stop. Catch Bucky at the next Gladiators game or visit us anytime at beavertoyotacoming.com.
We're 20, and yeah, we're celebrating big. Because in 20 years, we didn't just make the gear. We made hockey cool. They said we were too loud, too flashy, too different. They told us to tone it down. The Warriors don't tone it down. We go full throttle. And this is just the start. 20 years in and we're just getting warmed up. We're still the brand that makes the gear you could win in, chirping, partying. And if you thought we were bold before, just wait. The next 20 years start now.
Need to build a professional brand? Alpha Graphics delivers with stunning signage, graphics, and marketing materials that are exactly what you need to earn clients' trust. Alpha Graphics. Bring your brand to life.
Life's too short for ordinary whiskey. Make it infamous.
Now available at Mega Package Store, 2820 Lawrenceville, Sewanee, Oregon, 4 miles from Gas South Arena.
Gwinnett Fire and Emergency Services is ready to answer the call, but we'd rather prevent them. Our free home safety survey includes checking smoke alarms, identifying common hazards, and reviewing your family's home escape plan. Schedule yours today.
Welcome back to Greenville, where after one period of play, the Gladiators and the Swamp Rabbits are scoreless. Chiarenza with you here on the first intermission report here on the Gladiators Broadcast Network, and Greenville is leading the shot count 9-7, which I think is a bit generous considering that Swamp Rabbits really haven't had too many good chances on goal so far in this game. Gladiators with 7 shots on goal have certainly had the better chances to score. A lot of those coming off the stick of Mike McNamee in his first game back after missing the last 11 games. We'll talk about him in a second, but for Atlanta, it's another scoreless first period this season, and there have been a lot of those for the Gladiators this season, as Atlanta this year has really become more of a second and third period team when it comes to scoring this season. The Gladiators this year kind of heat up as the game goes on, as they really do have a flair for the dramatic. Gladiators have only given up 18 first period goals this season. They've outscored their opponents 25-18 in the first period, and that still rings true after a scoreless first period here in Greenville. In fact, that mark of 18 goals against in the first period this season is the second lowest figure in the ECHL. Only the Maine Mariners have allowed less first period goals with 15 this season. And now with another scoreless first period, this is the 9th time this season the Gladiators have been a part of a scoreless first period. So just goes to show that the Gladiators, when they are on their A game and they are into their structure and they're playing Gladiator style of hockey, this is normally what you get. But the Gladiators usually up first after one or get a scoreless first period. The Gladiators really come out and play a good game schematically to start and keep their opponent off the board. And so that's what we've seen so far here in this game. Gladiators not really giving the Swamp Rabbits a lot. TJ Semptimphelter making saves when he needs to, and as a result of that, the Gladiators have put together another good defensive first period this season. And it's a breath of fresh air considering what happened the last 2 games against Savannah. The Gladiators fell behind by 3 goals in the game at Gas South Arena against the Ghost Pirates in the 5-2 loss, and then fell behind by 2 in the opening 7 minutes of Saturday's game in a 3-2 loss. So for Atlanta here today, don't see any goals up on the board in the first period for the Gladiators, but I have to think it's a step in the right direction considering what happened in the last 2 games against a Ghost Pirates team that has really found its groove as of late. And for the Gladiators, scoreless first period is not the worst thing in the world either when it comes to getting into the heads of the Swamp Rabbits, who they've lost their last 2 games. They're the lowest scoring team in the South Division with just 84 goals for on the campaign. It really feels like the more this game goes on and the Gladiators continue to keep the Swamp Rabbits with a goose egg on the board, the more and more that mental toughness is going to start to crack for the Swamp Rabbits here in this game as they start to get a little bit desperate, might end up turning the puck over, give the Gladiators some chances here to score themselves as the game goes on. But back to that first sentiment of the Gladiators being a team that heats up as games go on. In the second period this season, the Gladiators have scored 28 goals to their opposition's 23, and in the third period they scored 33 goals to their opponent's 21. So again, that figure goes from 25 to 28 to 33 goals for in the first, second, and third periods for the Gladiators this season. And while they do start out first periods defensively, they really kind of keep that note and that sentiment throughout the night, as they've allowed 23 goals in the second period and 21 goals in the third period. And the third period is the Gladiators' best period when it comes to goal differentials. So, scoreless first period, not the most entertaining thing in the world from a fan perspective, but you think about the way the Gladiators have approached this game tactically and schematically. They've gotten back to their structure, held Greenville off the board, and created some nice scoring chances of their own. I'd like to talk about Mike McNamee and what he's been able to do so far here tonight. I'd like to say maybe 3 or 4 really good chances for McNamee there in that first period to score, and this is the Gladiators at just about full strength. Brendan Less out of the lineup was placed on the 14-day IR this morning, so he'll be out the next couple of weeks. But for the Gladiators, outside of that, this is about it. This is about full strength for them. Cody Sylvester, Jack O'Brien, and Isaac Walter on that first line had a decent first period, but it really feels like that as that group continues to gel, remember, it is O'Brien's 5th game with the Gladiators here today. As that group continues to gel, I think that is going to be a line to watch for the Gladiators this season. Think about the loss of Louis Boudon. Great player, hard to replace him, but Jack O'Brien's an all-star. He's a great player in his own right. Get him on that first line with Sylvester and Walter, and it really feels like this is the back-to-the-future line for the Gladiators. Sylvester, we know what he can do. He has a proven track record of scoring. He has been very solid for the Gladiators over the last 5 years. Jack O'Brien, second-year forward, has proven that he can score with Iowa, has proven that he can score with the Gladiators this season. I really like him as that center for that line, and he's been winning faceoffs so far here tonight as well. Really like him there. And then Isaac Walter, future part of that line, the rookie, 22 in blue here tonight, has looked good when he's had the puck on his stick. Like to see him get a little bit more ice time, a little bit more time with the puck on his stick there in the second period. I think the more Walter has the puck on his stick, the better he gets as the game goes on. But I really like that group, Sylvester, O'Brien, and Walter. Feels like if those three can continue to build chemistry, feels like that could be another lethal line for the Gladiators, with O'Brien sliding into that spot where Louis Boudon once was. But back to McNamee, I really like that second line for the Gladiators here today, and it really feels like that line has been the Gladiators' money line so far in today's game. McNamee, Young, and Nolan combining for some really good chances there in the first period. And the way they got it done was just quick speed. McNamee's the muscle on that line, able to take pucks away, set up chances, and then Young and Nolan, the speed, able to combine with a couple of quick touch passes to set up McNamee for some good opportunities there in the first period. Obviously, no goals coming out of it, but you got to like the way that trio was playing there in the first period. Instant chemistry, it seems, between those three. And we'll see if that can continue as the night goes on to set up more scoring chances for the Gladiators as they look to break this scoreless tie. Gladiators, which tied after one period of play this season, have a record of 9-2. Greenville, with tied after one, are 4-9-3. Coming up on the other side of the break here in the first intermission report, we'll take a look at the out-of-town scoreboard and get your thoughts on tonight's game. Comment your thoughts on tonight's game in our YouTube live chat, and we'll get to it on the other side of the break. Gladiators and Swamp Rabbits scoreless after one here tonight in Greenville. Look ahead to the second period after this from our local sponsors.
Feels like everyone's trying to copy the $5 biggie bag. So how can you spot a knockoff? It won't taste like Wendy's. This job is easy. When the deal is as fresh as the meal, gotta be Wendy's.
Sometimes life's collisions leave us feeling off balance. But at 100% Chiropractic, we know how to get you back on track.
We don't just straighten you out, we empower you. We educate you on how to get to the root cause and give you a play-by-play strategy on how to get you back to 100%.
We even use lasers.
Lasers!
Our $49 first experience includes a complete set of comprehensive chiropractic x-rays, a fit 3D scan, and your first life-changing adjustment. Visit us and break the ice. Discover the power of chiropractic care at 100%.
When you need inspiration, it's worth shopping Kroger. For thousands of appetizing ingredients that inspire countless mouth-watering meals. And low prices that add up to big savings, like over $600 in digital coupons each week, and up to $1 off per gallon at the pump. So you can get big flavors and big savings. Kroger, fresh for everyone.
Gwinnett Fire and Emergency Services is ready to answer the call, but we'd rather prevent them. Our free home safety survey includes checking smoke alarms, identifying common hazards, and reviewing your family's home escape plan. Schedule yours today. Gwinnett Fire and Emergency...
Wendy's has new chicken tenders. Crispy, juicy, tendery, tendies. Ooh, that's fun to say. Tendies, tendies, tendies. And they're so good, maybe we should change our... For tendies you're gonna know by name, gotta be Wendy's.
We're approaching second period action here from Greenville, South Carolina. Gladiators and Swamp Rabbits. Scoreless after one. Guy Chiarenza with you here on the Gladiators Broadcast Network. Let's take a look at the out-of-town scoreboard here. We've got a couple more games going on in the South Division as we speak. We will start at North Charleston Coliseum. The South Carolina Stingrays are hosting the Savannah Ghost Pirates. Stingrays have a 1-0 lead after one period of play as they look to snap Savannah's 7-game win streak. That has propelled them to fourth place in the South Division. So far, a lone goal scored by Stan Cooley for the Stingrays. And South Carolina currently occupies the second seed in the South Division, but keep in mind they've also played the most games out of any team in the South Division to this point, outside of Orlando, who's played 36. Over in Estero, Florida Everblades hosting the Jacksonville Icemen. That game is set to get underway about any moment from now, about 10 minutes in Estero. And same thing for the game at Kia Center, where the Orlando Solar Bears will host the Idaho Steelheads. And so that is the lowdown and the docket that is coming up here tonight on a Saturday night here in the ECHL. A lot of action, a lot of scores. Make sure you download the ECHL app or to ECHL.com to keep up to date with all those scores as the night goes on. And really, this is the point of the year where you start to do a little bit of scoreboard watching. And for the Gladiators, coming into this game, they have played the least amount of games out of any team in the entire ECHL. This is game number 30 for Atlanta this season. And there's a lot of teams that have won their games, are ahead of the Gladiators in the standing because they've won those games, but Gladiators do have games in hand. And you think about those two teams in Florida and South Carolina, those are the two that I'm talking about. Everblades with 52 points have played 34 games on the season. Playing in their 35th tonight, that's 5 games. That's more games that the Everblades have played than the Gladiators to this point. Atlanta wins all 5 of those games on their schedule. The Gladiators make up 10 points, and look at that. They're right there with the Everblades, tied at 52. Again, think about South Carolina. 35 games played, 45 points. Gladiators, again, if they win those games in hand, they're right there with them with the Stingrays. So the season is very much far from over, and the Gladiators are going to get a chance to make up those points later on in the month, as they will see the Stingrays and the Everblades during the season's longest road trip. 7 games. Starts on January 23rd in South Carolina. Then the Gladiators play 2 in Orlando on the 25th and 26th, and then it ends up being 5 games in 7 days for the Gladiators in the final week of January. Sunday, Monday in Orlando. Wednesday in Estero to take on the Everblades, and then Friday, Saturday, 2 more against the Everblades, and they cap it all off on the 3rd of February in Greensboro. It's going to be a tough slate for the Gladiators coming up, and we're really going to find out what this team is made of. And I always felt like, at the start of the season, when the schedule came out, it felt like, regardless of the Gladiators' record at the time of the new year, it really felt like the way that things would shake out in terms of the playoff picture and everything, where the Gladiators would end up being, would be determined by this road trip. Gladiators are off to a great start this season. In fact, in terms of win percentage, actually better than the Stingrays. Think about where the Gladiators are at right now. They've done a great job of winning games at home. 12-3 at home. They're 9-5 on the road. If you want to be a playoff team, you have to find a way to win games on the road. And so we're going to find out what this Gladiators team is made of. When the schedule came out, really felt like this road trip was going to tell us a lot about this Gladiators team, regardless of what their record was at the time that road trip started. So I'm very curious to see how this Gladiators team handles this, as including tonight, 8 out of the next 10 are on the road. So we'll get to see how good this Atlanta Gladiators team really is away from the friendly confines of Gas South Arena. So far, scoreless affair here in Greenville. Let's take a look at the YouTube live chat to see what's going on here tonight. Comment your thoughts on tonight's game. Looks like some of y'all are going to the game tomorrow, which is the Frosty Boots and Country Roots game at Gas South Arena. Good to see Justin Burke in the chat. Karen, Fuzzy, Amber, Hear Me Out, just to name a few. Lynette is here. Peach Fuzz, Tracy Hayes, Chris, Sadie Marina. Good to see everybody here tonight in Greenville. Good to see that a lot of you guys are going to be in the building tomorrow for that game, in the middle game of the 3-3 between these two teams. Do it on Sunday at 3 o'clock at Gas South Arena, and then again Monday afternoon at 1 p.m. And the All-Star game will be later that night. Matt Ginn, TJ Siptenfelter, Jack O'Brien will all be in Allen on Monday, as the Gladiators are one of the few teams that play on the MLK Day holiday, which just so happens to be the same day that the All-Star game is played. Not an ideal situation, but it is what it is. The Gladiators will be without the All-Stars on Monday. And then we'll look to the All-Stars here tonight. Give them a little bit of a scoring boost as they try and get on the board here in Greenville. So, after one period of play, it is a scoreless affair here in South Carolina. Gladiators and the Swamp Rabbits both back out for the start of the second period. Will look to get on the board. Atlanta wearing their blue jerseys with Gladiator gold numbers and trim will skate from left to right in the second period. Greenville wearing white jerseys with orange numbers and blue trim will skate from right to left in the middle frame. Jack O'Brien in that top line out there to take that face-off against Patrick Polino to resume play here in Greenville. O'Brien against Polino at the dot. Puck is dropped, and the second period is underway. Greenville wins the opening draw. They'll slam it into the right wing. Pinching down is Hausinger. They'll shuffle it to the near corner. Walter is there, trying to dig it free. Walter's so strong with pucks so far this season, able to muscle out of the corner for Nychuk. Looks up ahead, floats it cross ice, just over the tape of Walter. Couldn't simmer it down. Greenville takes it up ice, developing 3-on-2. Polino feeds it right wing. Nychuk got a stick on it. Ends up breaking the pass up and sending it to the outside. O'Hara finds Hausinger behind the net. Loses the puck to Matier. Slides it ahead to Walter. 3-on-2 up ice for the Gladiators. Feed to his left. Hits the stick of Murray, intended for Sylvester. Gladiators' plans are thwarted on the entry. They're forced to dump it in as the second line comes on. Berg from the left wing. Chips it into the near corner. Conroy gets there first, slaps it off the wall to McNamee. Quick touch pass to Carabia, return to McNamee, tries to poke it ahead, but ends up getting beat out to it. Carabia able to muscle out to center ice, feeds it to his right for Nolan. He'll cut to the inside, Nolan tries to backhand it to a man moving towards the net, ends up getting picked off, and Greenville turns up ice. Mastrodonado takes a shot, Siptenfelter stops it, ends up getting crashed into. Two players go into the back of the net. With 18:35 left in the second, and dangerous play. Siptenfelter able to evade the most of it, thankfully. But for the other two that slid to the back of the net, not so much. That was Hudson Shandor for the Swamp Rabbits, who was up and about, and for the Gladiators, it was Ryan Conroy. So Siptenfelter got a piece of the puck and then saw two players come barreling towards his right leg. Able to spin out of harm's way just in time. Got a piece of the contact, but thankfully not enough to do any serious damage, and he appears to be all right. And good news is Conroy and Shandor appear to be fine as well. But they will send out the ice crew to tend to the net behind Siptenfelter. They'll scrape behind that net and take a look at the net itself to make sure that it is secure. All of that happening 1:25 into the second period. And those are just really tough plays. I mean, you got a guy driving towards the net. I mean, you really can't fault Shandor all that much. just driving towards the net, trying to make a hockey play. Septemfelter comes out to try and make a save again. Another hockey play, and then Conroy defending. Again, trying to make a hockey play, and then you put all that together, all that speed, all that momentum, and then all it takes is for one guy to lose control, and then both go crashing into the back of the net. And again, thankfully, Septemfelter able to spin out of the contact. And we're going to take a look at that blue paint. Take a puck and put some slush on it, and it looks like we're good to go. So still scoreless. Looks like we're ready to get back to live action. Face off to the left of Septemfelter. Keaton Mastrodonato, the maestro as they call him, will take the face off against Alex Young. Mastrodonato wins it. Shot from the line by Parker Jones. Just goes wide. Hits the end wall, and Septemfelter is able to yoink it in. Clock stops again. Just 4 seconds after our last whistle. Parker Jones dressing as a defenseman here tonight, paired up with Josh Atkinson. Greenville's won another face-off. Atkinson takes a shot, gets deflected, and Greenville will strike first. It was Remy Parker with the tip. He gets the goal, and the Swamp Rabbits have a 1-0 lead. Not much Septemfelter could have done about that one. Just another blast from the line. Atkinson with the initial shot, gets tipped on the way by Parker.
Yes! 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 Yes!
And for the third straight game, the Gladiators have allowed the opening goal. For Remy Parker, that's his third goal of the season. Acquired in a trade for Austin Saint with Cincinnati on New Year's Eve. Atkinson and Atkinson and Mastrodonato factor in with the assists as Greenville has the opening goal of the game. Shot by Denemy into the glove of Seville. He will freeze. 2:10 into the second. And so for the Swamp Rabbits, they have scored first. They are 8-7-1 this season when doing so. So certainly not the best team when it comes to protecting an opening lead. Gladiators this season, with trailing first, are 4-6. And so Atlanta does have 4 comeback wins, if you want to call them that, this season, after surrendering the first goal. So while that opening goal does come at the start of the second period, there is still plenty of time left. Face off to the right of Seville. Swamp Rabbits win that face-off, but it gets blown dead immediately. We'll get a redraw or a redrop to the right of Seville. Shandor, who went into the Greenville locker room after crashing into the back of the net with Conroy, comes back out and takes a seat on the Greenville bench. Bon Secours Wellness Arena, one of those buildings where the locker room doesn't connect directly to the bench. You have to wait until the whistle to come back on or off. Meanwhile, Lovell has it in his own territory. Links it to the right wing. Sidestep there for O'Reilly. Fires it out of play on the dump in with 17:27 on the clock here in the second period. And for Septemfelter, a couple of bad breaks for him over the last 2 games. Into the first 2 goals that Savannah scored in the 3-2 loss on Saturday. First one was a screen. Not really much he could have done there. Second one was a tip-in from Walsh. And then first goal here tonight is a deflection from Parker for Greenville's opening goal. DeYoung to Lovell. Now back to DeYoung on the right wing. Cast it to the neutral zone. Hits a skate and comes to Matier and tried to find a man on the near wing, and Morgan hit a stick and went out of play to about the 10th row on the near side, and so we're going to another whistle. Still in the opening 3 minutes of the second. Shot count reads 10-8 in favor of the Swamp Rabbits. And the Gladiators this season started off taking a lot of shots in the first few weeks of the season, and then it's been a drop-off ever since. Gladiators have really become a team that favors quality over quantity. Got the Gladiators when it comes to shots for per game, 27.52 on average. That is the second lowest in the ECHL at this stage of the season. Gladiators working in deep. Burns putting some pressure on Lovell. Almost forces a turnover. Morgan working as well. Forces a convergence in the near corner. Scardina jumps into the fray as well. Puck leaks over below the goal line, and Burns plays it atop to Nychuk. John well done with the forecheck. Now can they convert? No. Greenville able to punch it out to center. Parker gets the job done. Now it is Poisson drifting right. Wires it in, chases it to the end wall, but sees Mateer snatched away. They'll locate Scardina on the right wing. Cross-ice pass is intercepted by Hausinger. Brings it to Poisson. Now back to Hausinger. Pass is broken up by Morgan. But goes into the near corner. Greenville continues to attack. They turn it over to Scardina. Bowlers to the high slot. Puck rubbed off of his stick, but taken out to center by Burns. Nicky Burns on the right wing drives it in and heads off for a line change. 4 minutes gone by here in the second period in Greenville. Opening goal scored by Remy Parker. Make it 1-0 for the Swamp Rabbits. O'Brien tries to reel it in at center circle, ends up popping it back to Carabia. They'll shuffle it to his left, off the stick of Sylvester and in. Walter scampers into it in the far corner. And a tangle with Murray. Gets it to O'Brien. Sylvester working there as well. Sees it yoinked away, and Greenville goes up ice. On the left wing, O'Hara tries to pull it in. Defended nicely by Carabia. Cuts him off and gets possession back for the Gladiators. Sylvester quickly finds O'Brien. Cuts to the inside and leaves it for Carabia. Overskates but has it. Sauces it down low for O'Brien. On his forehand, tries to knock it to Walter. Sylvester helping out as well. Finds the Swedish forward from the right point. Slides it down low. Sylvester can't get a shot away. Knifed away by Sheriff. Right in tight with Seville. Puck stays in the Greenville zone. Carabia fires. Tipped by Sylvester. Puck is loose. They score! Cody Sylvester punches it in, and we are tied at 1. Sylvester scores 5:04 into the second to tie it up at 1 apiece. Carabia took the initial shot. I think Sylvester got a tip on it the first try. Seville made the initial save, and then second chance whacked into the back of the net by the captain. And the Gladiators have tied the game. Carabia will get an assist on that, his first point of the young season. Game number 9 on the campaign for Carabia, who missed the first 20 games and a little bit more due to injury. And for Sylvester with the goal, now has his 9th of the campaign to tie this one up in the early stages of the second. Gladiators drive it in. Looking to get the next goal of this game. Young on the forecheck, almost traded a turnover. Instead, Atkinson and Sheriff roll the puck up ice. Behind Semptenfelter, Jarvis swipes it to the left wing for McNamee. Ends up boomeranging back to Jarvis, who gets a lay of the land. And slides at the length of the ice for an icing. Ball will come back down near TJ Semptenfelter. It is officially Sylvester from Carabia, 5:04 into the second period. That has tied the game up at 1. Sylvester playing in game number 262 with the Gladiators here tonight. Has scored. And is going to whistle with 14:05 to go as Gladiators are set to head to the Eco-Electric power play. It looks like Murphy going to the box for Greenville for high sticking. 2 minutes to the newest Swamp Rabbit. First time tonight, we'll see this Gladiators power play. The Gladiators went 0 for 2 in the power play in the Saturday loss to Savannah. Now operated 18.8 on the season, 14th best power play in the ECHL. The Swamp Rabbits, the penalty kill has been their bread and butter this season, 84.1%, top 10 unit at 9th best in the ECHL. And they went 1 for 2 in the Tuesday game. Make that 5 for 6, 5 for 6 in the PK against Savannah in that Tuesday loss. And they begin that with an opening clear. So Nychuk in this first unit. Start this power play. Nychuk finds Sylvester on the left wing, centers for Walter, lances off his stick to Young. From the goal line, shoots just high and wide, almost snuck it in. Nychuk from the left wing, digs a bit deeper, plays it up top for Sylvester. Feeds it right wing for Young. From the half wall, feels some pressure, plays it back up to Sylvester. Threads it across for Nychuk. Now to Young right circle, back across to Sylvester. On his forehand, the captain scans the ice. Finds Young, high slot, he'll fire. Shot is blocked and sent down by Berg. Hausinger, short-handed, gets in front of the puck, but Gladiators move up ice. O'Brien quickly finds Sylvester from the left wing. Pulls up, slows down, finds Walter below the goal line. Looks to center, pinballs in front. Seville's able to get a hand on it with 49 seconds left on this Gladiator power play. 12:54 left in the second period. And Cody Sylvester in that first unit will head off. On comes the second power play unit. Cipollone, Francis, Nolan, Mateer, and Nychuk. Or make that Orzek. So used to see Mateer and Nychuk together. I almost automatically assume that those two will be paired together, but is Mateer and Orzek. 3 forwards, 2 defensemen from the Gladiators here in the second unit. Here is Orzek from the left point, drives towards the net, feeds it to Francis. From the right circle, returns it to Orzek, feeds left side for a shot, tipped in front, comes back to Orzek, back to Mateer, a blast! That goes wide as well. Francis, back to Mateer. He'll take a third shot, and that's blocked by DeYoung. Puck comes out to center. 22 seconds left on this power play. Francis motors through neutral ice. Finds a man open on the left wing. That is Mateer. Pops it down deeper for Francis. Nolan emerges on the near side. Moves to his forehand. Plays it up top. Orzek holds. Shot is blocked. Francis keeps it alive. Throws it towards the net. Deflected in front. Seville makes the save on Nolan. Right as the penalty expires. Murphy out of the box. And we're back to even strength. Some really good chances for the Gladiators on that power play. Took about 3 shots on that man advantage, and every single one of them gave Seville a run for his money, but ends up remaining a tie game at 1 apiece. And on comes the 4th line for the Gladiators. Burns, Scardina, and Morgan. Greenville wins the defensive zone face-off. Try and knock it out, and they do. Conroy tracks it down. Just tosses it to neutral ice. Greenville continuing to push the narrative. Tries to slink in on the right side, but Conroy would not be fooled. Good shift so far for number 8 in blue. Atlanta hoists it back out to the neutral zone. Bouncing puck splits the D. Scardina racing in, wreaking havoc on the forecheck. Burns keeps it alive. Gladiators pump it down to the end wall. Scardina's there. Tries to wrestle away from Atkinson and does. Scardina centers, hits a stick. Rolls up to the line, and we get a whistle. High sticking again. 11:28 to go, and who's it going to go on? We'll find out on the other side of the break. Puck was played with the high stick. Mickey Burns will get a penalty for high sticking. He is headed to the box. Gladiators back to the Beaver Toyota and Mazda penalty kill on the other side of the break. Gladiators and Swamp Rabbits all tied up at 1 when we come back to Bon Secours Wellness Arena.
We're 20, and yeah, we're celebrating big. Because in 20 years, we didn't just make the gear. We made hockey cooler. They said we were too loud, too flashy, too different. They told us to tone it down. The Warriors don't tone it down. We go full throttle. And this is just the start. 20 years in and we're just getting warmed up. We're still the brand that makes the gear you can win in, chirping, partying. And if you thought we were bold before, just wait. The next 20 years start now.
Gwinnett Fire and Emergency Services is ready to answer the call, but we'd rather prevent them. Our free home safety survey includes checking smoke alarms, identifying common hazards, and reviewing your family's home escape plan. Schedule yours today.
Gladiators are set to go on the penalty kill for the second time tonight. So far, 1 for 1 on the evening. Looking to make that 2 for 2. Mickey Burns in the box. 2 minutes for high sticking. And Greenville has got a chance to take the lead back. Penalty killers for the Gladiators: Denemy, Mateer, Cipollone, and Nychuk. So while you don't see Nychuk and Mateer on the power play together, you do see them here on the penalty kill together. As Atlanta wins a defensive zone face-off, and Denemy tries to get the puck to the line on a clear, but it's being held in by Hausinger. Polino from the right point. Sees the puck rotate to the left point. Now back to him. Polino fires. Shot goes wide. Rebound to Mastrodonato in the near corner. Drives it back up top to Polino. Return to Mastrodonato. Quick pass to O'Hara. Back to Mastrodonato. Left circle to the line. Polino feeds right wing for a shot. Tipped just wide by O'Hara. Polino across. Locates Shandor on his backhand. Drives to the near corner and jolts it back up to the line. Polino fires. Septemfelter snags it with the glove and stops time 45 seconds into the penalty kill. Good job for that penalty kill unit for the Gladiators. On comes Carabia, Conroy, Scardina, and O'Brien. Face off to the left of Septemfelter. Swamp Rabbits keeping the same personnel out there, their top power play unit. Hausinger will take this face off against O'Brien. Greenville does win the face off. Polino. He's it to his right. Cross ice feed. Cannot be hauled in by Mastrodonato. Has to chase it out to center. Errant pass into the near corner. Greenville ices the puck on the power play with 59 seconds left on the sentence to Burns. That's a play that's going to drive Chad Costello, the head coach of the Swamp Rabbits, nuts. And icing on a power play is something you never want to see unless you're the team killing the penalty. And for the Gladiators, we'll take that all day, every day. Face off to the right of Seville. O'Brien will take it. He can win it. He set up a chance here for a shot for either Conroy or Carabia. But Greenville does win this face-off, and they have control. O'Brien on the forecheck tries to find a way to strip it away. Working hard in the corner, does just that. Knocks it out to the neutral zone. Comes to Septemfelter. Foot race between Hausinger and Conroy. Septemfelter plays it to the end wall, and the Gladiators can't get it out. Shandor, a shot blockered away by Septemfelter, out of play. With 10:06 to go in the second period and 38 seconds left on the penalty to Burns. Gladiators change personnel again. We'll see Nolan, Young, Mateer, and Nychuk take the ice. Swamp Rabbits send out their second power play unit as O'Reilly will take this face-off against Young. From the near circle, O'Reilly and Young, the two former teammates at Arizona State a few seasons ago. Tango at the dot, Young the victor. Gladiators clear all the way down. Greenville back up ice. A little over 20 seconds left on their power play. They come gunning on the right side. Center for a chance for Berg. Septemfelter punches it away. Puck loose in the far corner. Greenville trying to keep it alive. Here is O'Reilly from the right wing. On his forehand. Will go around the net finds a man up top in Berg. Power play set to expire. Berg down low. In front was O'Reilly, and Semptimphelter keeps it out, and out of the box is Burns. Gladiators 2 for 2 on the penalty kill tonight, as here is Nolan streaking up ice. Nolan cuts to the goal, backhands it for a trailer. Wanted Nychuk, but said it was intercepted by Lovell. Still all tied at 1. Greenville in on the right side this time. Gladiators able to cut that off. Nolan takes it in stride, developing 2-on-1, maybe a 3-on-1. Nolan across for Orsic, kick save, rebound. It stays out. Now O'Brien in tight, just misses wide. Puck knifed away at the line from Jarvis, racing back is Orsic. Brackett has it, drifting right, feeds it to Sheriff. He'll take a shot. High riser goes out of play with 8:40 left in the second period. Boy, oh boy, the Gladiators had a 3-on-1 up ice. Pass across, Nolan to Orsic. Tippy toe save for Seville. Nolan had the rebound, but just put it wide. We are still tied at 1 here in upstate South Carolina. We are back to business after this from our local sponsors.
It's game day and Bucky's ready for action. From the moment he pulls up, it's all smiles, high fives, and Beaver Toyota pride. A quick stop for snacks and he's game ready. The energy in the arena starts to build because when Beaver Toyota and the Gladiators team up, the fun and excitement never stop. Catch Bucky at the next Gladiators game or visit us anytime at beavertoyotacoming.com.
Most recent goal in this game was scored by Cody Sylvester for the Gladiators to tie the game 5:04 into the second period, and since then, back and forth action. Great chances for both teams. Remain tied at 1 with Greenville leading the shot count 16-11 with 8:40 to go in the middle frame. Sylvester in that top line, both back out there. Sylvester playing in game 262 with the Gladiators. Here tonight, ties Brad Shell for 4th most all-time in Gladiators history. So congratulations to Cody Sylvester, and he's made a night out of it, getting his 9th goal of the season. Greenville drifting in, shot by Polino, just fought off by Semptimphelter. Puck goes behind the net, O'Hara has it on his forehand, climbs up the far wall, turns and shoots, and Semptimphelter makes the save. Didn't quite have all of it, ends up falling back and reeling it in and stopping the clock with 8:22 to go. Sometimes you just gotta be on red alert, and TJ Semptimphelter able to get a lot of that puck, but not all of it. And I think that's one of those things that the high quality trait of a good goalie is knowing when you do and you don't have a puck. Semptimphelter made the save and knew he didn't have it, so ends up falling back, able to scoop it up. Game is still tied. Greenville wins another face-off. Atkinson slides it down deep on the backhand to the forehand is Peterson. Semptimphelter fights it off. Atkinson spinning in the far corner, sets up a chance that just goes wide. Greenville retains possession, but ends up jumbling out to the neutral zone, and Cipollone will take it away. Moving with Francis. He'll peel away. Francis shimmies it down deeper. Puck comes to Conroy in the near corner. Slides it to Denemy at the point. Denemy surveys, fires, hits a leg and goes wide. Now Francis on the forehand leaves it for Denemy. From the far wall, tries to slink deeper, gets checked off the puck by Murphy. Greenville slides the puck all the way down for an icing with 7:30 left in the second period. So Wade Murphy, 16 in white, back in a Greenville uniform for a second stint with the club, was reacquired in a trade with the Greensboro Gargoyles earlier this week. playing in his first game with the Swamp Rabbits since April 7th of 2018. A game against these Atlanta Gladiators at Gas South Arena. He ended up scoring a goal in that 4-0 win for Greenville. And that was the last time he suited up for Greenville since tonight. Matier, a shot off the face-off victory, tattooed off the end wall. Young tries to pull it in, ends up getting knocked away, and now Greenville will pitch it to the neutral zone. Wheeling it in is Peterson. Tried to backhand it forward for Atkinson, but Greenville pulls away from that play, and now the sidestep and the shimmy. Nitrick angles it off the wall for Young. Has McNamee flying in on the left side. McNamee shoots, just high and wide. Puck held in at the right point by Matier. Spinning like a turnstile, takes the shot, deflected in front, pops to the slot. Greenville frees it from there and jabs it out to neutral ice. Atlanta pelts it to the neutral zone. No icing as that second line heads off for a change. They get fresh D pairing on as well as Orzek and Jarvis take the ice. Sheriff down the left wing, backhands it to the slot, ends up coming to Murray for a shot that goes wide. Now a shot from the left point by Berg. Does not hit the target. Kept alive by Murray on the opposite side. Now dish it down low for Mastrodonato. Wanted Sheriff down deeper. It ends up bouncing oddly off the corner wall. Contested puck in tight. Couple of jabs at the net for Shandor. Semptimphelter keeps it out, and the Gladiators will run it out of their own zone. Burns finds Scardina. Left wing pass back to the inside for Burns. He'll take it to the end wall. On his forehand, shuffles it to the right point for Carabia. Defenseman scans the ice, tries to find the stick of Burns for a tip-in. Good chance, but Seville would not be fooled. Makes the save with 5:54 to go. Another good scoring chance for the Gladiators, but Seville rises to the occasion. All tied up at 1 with 5:54 left in the second period. We are back to Bon Secours Wellness Arena after this from our local sponsors.
Need to build a professional brand? Alpha Graphics delivers with stunning signage, graphics, and marketing materials that are exactly what you need to earn clients' trust. Alpha Graphics. Bring your brand to life.
Gwinnett Fire and Emergency Services is ready to answer the call, but we'd rather prevent them. Our free home safety survey includes checking smoke alarms, identifying common hazards, and reviewing your family's home escape plan. Schedule yours today.
Life's too short for ordinary whiskey. Make it infamous. Now available at Mega Package Store, 2820 Lawrenceville, Sewanee, Oregon, 4 miles from Gas South Arena.
Late stages of the second period. Gladiators and Swamp Rabbits locked in at 1 apiece. 6:05 start time Eastern time was due to the post-game concert here at Bon Secours Wellness Arena from Tyler Braden. And so for the Gladiators, talk amongst the building and on the bus was, we really like that 6 o'clock start time, which means the Gladiators, after this game, will head back to Duluth and get home likely before midnight. Which, considering the turnaround for the 3 o'clock game tomorrow, is very much appreciated. So thank you, Tyler Braden. Face off on the near circle. Scardina will take this. The Bowling Green State product. Will slap it to the half wall, and it'll be picked up there by Poisson. Greenville out to center. Pass is intercepted by Carabia. Finds Burns on the right wing, who puts a shot on goal that's steered away by Seville. Low to high they go. Conroy sidestep. Puck is taken away. Chance up ice for Brackett. It ends up getting cut off by Carabia. Peter Morgan now. Hauls it in on the right wing. Gets checked off of it by Poisson. Back up on his feet. Morgan continues to dig at it. Ends up rolling back to Lovell in the Greenville defense. 5:15 to go in the opening frame as Lovell speeds through the neutral zone, comes right down the middle, tries to stop right over the blue line, ends up losing the puck, and Sylvester rolls it ahead for Walter. Couldn't quite take it in stride, and Lovell's got it back. Finds DeYoung. On the red line, blasted on goal, save, Sentenfeld to the rebound, available for a chance, and he makes the save on O'Hara. Ooh, that was a nasty rebound from Sentenfelter. Very uncharacteristic of him to give up something like that, and that's exactly what the Swamp Rabbits wanted. O'Hara comes flying in for a chance, and Sentenfelter is able to make the stop on the second opportunity. Faceoff will be to his right. O'Brien will take it against O'Hara. O'Brien has won it. Done a really nice job at the faceoff dot here tonight. Walter in the neutral zone. Slaps it down deep. O'Brien on the forecheck. Tries to rip it off the stick of Atkinson. Instead, the Greenville captain able to jump it up ahead. Chance towards the net. Players collide and arm is raised. That was O'Hara again streaking towards the net. Got brought down by Mateer, and Jack Mateer is going to get called for a penalty. He will take a seat. Here's the call. Holding on Mateer. Sends Greenville back to the power play for the third time tonight. Which means that the Gladiators are going to buckle up and head to the Beaver Toyota and Mazda penalty kill and look to go 3-3 on the night. Face off to the left of Sentenfelter. Cipollone will take this against Hausinger. Face off won by Greenville. Mastrodonato, a shot turned away by Sentenfelter. Puck loose on the near boards. Bounces to Mastrodonato, who keeps it in. It ends up turning it over to Nychuk. He'll hammer it off the near side wall. Denemy short-handed. Weasels his way in deep to the end wall. With some pressure on Polino. Keep in mind, Gladiators do have 7 short-handed goals this season, and Denemy's got one of them. 3 of those short-handed goals have come on the road. 4 at home. Puck loose at center. Here is Cipollone breaking in short-handed. Cipollone fires. Shoulder save Seville. Cipollone continues to battle behind the cage, shaving off more time. 1:18 left on the penalty to Mateer. Shandor feeds it left for O'Hara. Running in, centers. Mastrodonato dangles to the net. Sentenfelter to the save. And on the rebound, they score. Cam Hausinger extends his point streak to 7 games. And makes it 2-1 Greenville. Goal comes with 3:37 left in the second period.
Yes. 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 Yes.
It is a power play goal for Hausinger, and Mastrodonato did the heavy lifting, split O'Brien and Nychuk. Again, Sentenfelter made the initial save with the rebound right on a tee for Hausinger, who has picked up his 10th goal of the season. Make it a 2-1 Greenville lead. Gladiators crash the crease. Seville sprawls out to make a save. 3:18 left in the second. The Gladiators have fallen behind for the second time tonight. So Hausinger hits the double-digit mark in goals, leads the team at 10. Leads the team in points with 20, and has extended his point streak to 7 games. 4 goals and 5 assists for 9 points in that span. Mastrodonato with the assist, up to 19 points on the year. Mastrodonato and the Maestro Symphony has been singing. Mastrodonato now 4 points in 6 games against Atlanta this season. 2 goals and 2 assists.
Assisted by number 18, Mastrodonato, and number 20, Ryan O'Hara.
Ryan O'Hara gets an assist as well, and O'Hara have been dangerous over the last few shifts. Gladiators looking to get that one back. Jumbles out the center. Carabia pulls it in. Finds Conroy. Shuffles it to the left wing off the stick of Walter. And Greenville's got it back. Left side entry for Peterson. Nothing happening there. Carabia checked them hard. The Forster from the puck. Available at center. Sylvester Jolts it ahead, looking for Walter. Clearing attempt held in by Sylvester. Finds O'Brien. Left wing, dangling in front. Walter on the doorstep. And it would not go. Seville kept it out. And afterwards, some bad blood between Sylvester and Mastrodonato. .224 left in the second period. Another great chance for the Gladiators, but they just couldn't find a way to solve Seville there. And Walter right in front, couple of good whacks. Seville flashes out that left pad and able to keep it on the ice and keep the puck out. And Walter took a shot there from, I believe it was Atkinson, towards the end of that play. And Cody Sylvester wasn't happy about that. Ended up getting tangled up with Mastrodonato there, and now Seville is headed to the Greenville bench, and he is receiving some help from their equipment manager as they work on his right pad. And this game has become very reminiscent of the game that we saw on November 5th, the last time that we saw Isaiah Seville. Gladiators, there's a lot of really good scoring chances that day, but they could not find a way to solve Isaiah Seville more than once. And here in this game, Seville has made some really good stops on some really good Gladiator chances. And don't be fooled, shot count 22-15 in favor for Greenville. Gladiators have had a handful of high-quality chances in this game, and Seville has kept all but one of them out. They're still working on his pad, and this brings to memory an instance earlier in the season in which TJ Septemfelter had something happen to his left pad, had to leave the game for a little bit. Hyder came in, the backup, played for about 7.5 minutes in a win over Greensboro. I don't think how long this officiating crew will let this go on if they can't quite fix that pad for Seville. He's going to test it out, and he's going to leave. He is going to have to leave. So Seville is going to head off and down the tunnel to the Greenville locker room. And so on a play where you think there's no way that happens twice in a season, right? Well, it has. Once against the Gladiators, and this time it happens in their favor. Matthias Scholl, the backup to Seville, enters the game, and he will not get much of a chance to warm up. Scholl this season, coming off of a 5-1 win at Orlando on the 5th of the month, stopped 24 of 25 this season, a record of 5-6-2, 2.39 goals against average, 918 save percentage, and 1 shutout. This will be his 15th appearance of the season. So for the Gladiators, the memo has to be get shots on goal. Matthias Scholl, who has entered the game for Isaiah Seville, who left with an equipment issue. Greenville floats it down the ice after a defensive zone face-off victory. Jarvis handles, gets checked in the far corner. Atlanta able to hang on to it thanks to the help from O'Brien. Has to scoot it over to Walter. Pass is picked off by Mastrodonato. And remember, as mentioned before in this building, when Shandor had to leave the game, this is one of those buildings, Bon Secours Wellness Arena, opened in September of 1998, is one of those buildings that you can't get back to the bench from the locker room. You have to wait until the whistle to come back on. And for Seville being a goaltender, you have to wait for a whistle anyway. But it is worth noting that once he is ready to return, we'll be able to see him waiting in the tunnel. Gladiators have yet to put a shot on goal on Scholl to this point, though, as Polino drives the net, ends up getting hauled down, and puck rolls in on Septemfelter. Fans want a holding penalty, but doesn't appear like they're going to get it. 1:25 to go in the second period, and I almost wonder that the amount of time left on the clock, Scholl might just play out the second period. Should give them more time to work on the pad of Seville during the intermission. So for the Gladiators, maybe a chance here at the end of the second period to get a quick one in on Scholl, who is still cold. hasn't faced a shot yet in this game. But for now, they have to start in their own end. Face off to the left of Semptimphelter. Defensive zone face off one. Francis slides it ahead looking for Denemy. He'll race into the far corner. Denemy kicks it to Cipolone. Below the goal line, Cipolone finds Mateer. Quick shot. Puck loose. Francis can't put it in. Greenville sweeps it away and moves up ice. Centering feed broken up by Nychuk. Will spit it out to center with 1 minute to go. Cipolone in on the right side. Throws it across. Wanted Francis, but he was caught up to by O'Hara. Good back check for Greenville. They pop it ahead. Mateer simmers it down. Wires it ahead. Just out of reach for Nolan. 40 seconds left in the period. No icing as Greenville chucks it down. Nychuk tries to hammer it out. Held in by Peterson. From the left wing. Puck leaks out to center. Nolan finds Denemy with 25 seconds to go. They'll lob it ahead. Nobody home. Greenville back on the run. Here's a chance for a shot that goes wide. O'Reilly took it. Semptimphelter didn't have to make a save. Momentum carries the puck out to the neutral zone. 10 seconds to go. Atkinson with it. He'll wait the clock out. Throw it across. Now back to the neutral zone. And O'Reilly at the buzzer takes a shot, which is steered away by Semptimphelter. And that is the end of the second period. You got to think that's a missed opportunity for the Gladiators there. Scholl comes into the game cold. Doesn't see a single shot in about the final 2 minutes of the period. Coming in relief of Seville, who had an equipment issue with his right pad. Gladiators don't get a shot there. Well, they just had 3, so there you go. They do get 3 shots on goal on Scholl. But all in all, still feels like a missed opportunity as the Gladiators trail the Swamp Rabbits 2-1 after 2 periods of play. Coming up next year from Greenville, we'll look ahead to the third period, recap the first and second periods here on the road. We'll also take a look at the out-of-town scoreboard and what implications that might have on the Gladiators season. And we'll also take a look at our YouTube live chat, talk some shop here on a Saturday night as well. Greenville 2, Atlanta 1. We are back to Bon Secours Wellness Arena after this from our local sponsors.
Feels like everyone's trying to copy the $5 biggie bag. So how can you spot a knockoff? It won't taste like Wendy's. This job is easy. When the deal is as fresh as the meal, gotta be Wendy's.
Gotta be fresh.
Sometimes life's collisions leave us feeling off balance. But at 100% Chiropractic, we know how to get you back on track.
We don't just straighten you out, we empower you. We educate you on how to get to the root cause and give you a play-by-play strategy on how to get you back to 100%.
We even use lasers.
Lasers!
Our $49 first experience includes a complete set of comprehensive chiropractic x-rays, a fit 3D scan, and your first life-changing adjustment. Visit us and break the ice. Discover the power of chiropractic care at 100%.
When you need inspiration, it's worth shopping Kroger. For thousands of appetizing ingredients that inspire countless mouth-watering meals. And low prices that add up to big savings, like over $600 in digital coupons each week, and up to $1 off per gallon at the pump. So you can get big flavors and big savings. Kroger, fresh for everyone.
Gwinnett Fire and Emergency Services is ready to answer the call, but we'd rather prevent them. Our free home safety survey includes checking smoke alarms, identifying common hazards, and reviewing your family's home escape plan. Schedule yours today.
Need to build a professional brand? Alpha Graphics delivers with stunning signage, graphics, and marketing materials that are exactly what you need to earn clients' trust. Alpha Graphics. Bring your brand to life.
Swamp Rabbits 2, Gladiators 1 after 2 periods of play here in Greenville. Chiarenza with you from Bon Secours Wellness Arena in upstate South Carolina. Gladiators looking to make it a comeback here in the third period after allowing 2 and scoring 1 in the second period of this one. Did mention in the last intermission report the Gladiators' third period is their best scoring period. Really going to put that to the test here tonight as they will look to come back here on the road against the Swamp Rabbits. So for Greenville, when leading after 2 periods of play this season, they are 9-0-1. Gladiators, when trailing after 2, are 2-6. So there is a chance for the Gladiators here in the third period, and with the way that they've been playing, it really feels like they should be on the board more than they've been so far here tonight, but just 1 goal in this contest. It does belong to Cody Sylvester. Let's break it down as to how we got here after a scoreless first period. And so, no goals in the opening frame. Turn to the second, and you get 3. 2 for the Swamp Rabbits, 1 for the Gladiators. And the first one came in the opening 2 minutes, 1:33 in. It comes off the stick of Remy Parker from Atkinson and Mastrodonado. It is a tip-in shot from Parker that makes it a 1-0 Greenville lead. But just moments after that, Gladiators 5:04 into the period. Going to go from Cody Sylvester, the captain, to make it a 1-1 game. And all started, shot from the right wing from Dylan Carabia into traffic. Sylvester put some pressure on Seville, able to tip the initial shot into the belly of Seville, but doesn't have the rebound. Sylvester does get it, and he punches it in the back of the net for the score. His 9th of the season, assisted by Carabia, who gets his first point of the year in his 190th game as a Gladiator. So that got the Gladiators on the board to make it a 1-1 game, and then later on in the period, Gladiators on the PK reeling a bit. Ryan O'Hara puts together a couple of really good shifts for Greenville, using his speed to his advantage, and it all kind of boils out of the pot on the power play for Greenville. O'Hara to Mastrodonado, nifty move to split the defense. I believe it was Nychuk and O'Brien. Takes a shot, kicks a Sentenfelder, the rebound right onto the tape of Cam Hausinger. He scores to extend his point streak to 7 games, and it makes it a 2-1 Greenville lead. And that is where we stand after 2 periods of play. So the Gladiators to this point 2 for 3 on the penalty kill, 0 for 1 on the power play, and they are being outshot 27-18 here at Bon Secours Wellness Arena. Now, one thing as of note, I really feel like in this building they are very generous to the home team when it comes to crediting shots on goal, and not so much to the road team when it comes to crediting shots on goal. So just my opinion there. Take it with a grain of salt. Gladiators have had some really good scoring chances in this game, but all in all have not been able to convert on them. And I think the biggest chance of the night was late in the second period when Isaiah Seville, who was the starting netminder for the Swamp Rabbits here tonight, had an issue with his right pad, tried to fix it up on the bench but couldn't get it done, ends up going down the tunnel to the locker room and is replaced by Matthias Scholl. So Scholl comes in and for a netminder in relief in this league, when he comes off the bench, doesn't get a chance to warm up, has to come into the game cold. So Scholl comes in cold and doesn't face a shot until the final minute of the period. And Gladiators put 3 on goal, but a couple of quick, easy saves for Scholl, and that's the end of the period. It really feels like a missed opportunity for Atlanta, as you think if they're able to win that face-off on the ensuing play, get some good puck movement, get some shots on goal, really make Scholl work for it, catch him off guard, catch him cold in this game. You think the Gladiators might have a chance to tie this one up before the end of the period, but they weren't able to get it done. And so for Scholl, ends up playing the final 2:24 of the second period, keeps the puck out, and it remains a 2-1 Greenville lead. Now, I do really like what the Gladiators have been able to do as far as getting those wacky chances on goal. We've seen the Gladiators take a lot of shots from the perimeter in this game, but the difference from just taking shots from the perimeter and making them quality chances versus just routine shots from the outside that are easy saves for Scholl is creating traffic and chaos in front of the net. I thought the Gladiators had done a good job of that so far tonight. Hence the goal from Sylvester. Carabia takes a shot from the outside, goes right into the slot. Sylvester is there to punch it in. Gladiators did a nice job of getting tip-ins, doing flybys, screens, really making Seville work here tonight. But to this point, it seems like we're getting a flashback game from November 5th in the last win that Greenville had against the Gladiators. As a lot of really good chances offensively for the Gladiators, but Seville making some good saves in this game. And I think on the opposite end, TJ Semptenfelter, he's been great save so far here tonight, but the first period, very much routine for Semptenfelter. Second period, Gladiators broke out of their structure a little bit. Greenville using their speed to their advantage. O'Hara had a couple of really good shifts. Mastronado factored in on the power play goal. And so really felt like as that second period went on and Greenville got their skating legs under them, they were able to put in that goal on the power play to make it a 2-1 game. But I think for the Gladiators here tonight, you have to get back to your basics. Get back to your defensive structure. Get back to using your confidence to your advantage. Atlanta has won the last 6 games of this rivalry. They're very much more than capable of coming out of this building with a win. But for the Gladiators here in the third period, I like the idea of getting tips, screens, and all the like on Seville. I think for Atlanta, I think they need to tighten up their zone entries a little bit and really just try and find a way to capitalize on the chances that they've had. They have had the opportunities in this game to score. They've only converted on one of them. I think this is one of those games where it's going to take a wacky bounce, screen tip in for the Gladiators to get that next goal. They're on the right track. Feels like they're there. Just need to find a way to get a bounce to go their way. Gladiators trying to get this one back into their own hands here in the third period. Greenville leads it 2-1 after 2. We are back for the second half of the second intermission report after this from our local sponsors.
It's game day and Bucky's ready for action. From the moment he pulls up, it's all smiles, high fives, and Beaver Toyota pride. A quick stop for snacks and he's game ready. The energy in the arena starts to build because when Beaver Toyota and the Gladiators team up, the fun and excitement never stop. Catch Bucky at the next Gladiators game or visit us anytime at beavertoyotacoming.com.
We're 20, and yeah, we're celebrating big. Because in 20 years, we didn't just make the gear. We made hockey cooler. They said we were too loud, too flashy, too different. They told us to tone it down. The Warriors don't tone it down. We go full throttle. And this is just the start. 20 years in and we're just getting warmed up. We're still the brand that makes the gear you can win in, chirping, partying. And if you thought we were bold before, just wait. The next 20 years start now.
Need to build a professional brand? Alpha Graphics delivers with stunning signage, graphics, and marketing materials that are exactly what you need to earn clients' trust. Alpha Graphics. Bring your brand to life.
Life's too short for ordinary whiskey. Make it infamous. Now available at Mega Package Store, 2820 Lawrenceville, Sewanee, Oregon, 4 miles from Gas South Arena.
Gwinnett Fire and Emergency Services is ready to answer the call, but we'd rather prevent them. Our free home safety survey includes checking smoke alarms, identifying common hazards, and reviewing your family's home escape plan. Schedule yours today.
Swamp Rabbits lead the Gladiators 2-1 after 2 periods of play. Guy Chiarenza with you here on the second intermission report from Bon Secours Wellness Arena in Greenville, South Carolina. This is one of the rare instances where every single member of the affiliation between Nashville, Milwaukee, and Atlanta are playing on the same night, and all 3 are playing on the road. Gladiators on the road here at Bon Secours Wellness Arena. We'll see the scene shift to Duluth for tomorrow's game for the final 2 games of the 3-3. As for the Milwaukee Admirals, they are on the road to take on the Grand Rapids Griffins, and they currently trail the Griffins 1-0 after 1 period of play in Michigan. And for the Nashville Predators, they are on the West Coast in the Pacific time zone to take on the Vegas Golden Knights. That game still about 2 hours away, coming up at 10 o'clock p.m. here in the Eastern time zone. So a lot of good action here for the affiliation coming up here tonight. Gladiators and Swamp Rabbits kicked it off at 6 o'clock p.m. Admirals at the end of the first period in their game underway, and then the nightcap with the Nashville Predators in Vegas. Let's take a look at the ECHL scoreboard now. See what's going on around the rest of the South Division. North Charleston Coliseum, Stingrays hosting the Ghost Pirates. South Carolina and Savannah are all tied up at 1 after 2 periods of play. South Carolina goal coming from Stan Cooley. Savannah goal comes from Logan Drevich. As those two South Division teams are tied up at 1. Over in Estero at Hertz Arena, home of the Everblades, Florida's taking on Jacksonville as the Icemen have a 1-0 lead after 1 period of play against the Everblades. Jacksonville gets a goal from Nathan Dunkley, and that is the only goal of that contest so far. And then at Kia Center, the Orlando Solar Bears host the Idaho Steelheads. Orlando has a 2-1 lead over Idaho after 1 period of play. We will see the Solar Bears next week for a 2-game slate at Kia Center on the 25th and 26th. As the Gladiators will continue on their season-long 7-game road trip. And so for Atlanta, on the road here today, back at home tomorrow and Monday, and then they kick off a 7-game slate in Charleston on Friday. And so it'll be the longest road trip of the season for the Gladiators, and I'm interested to see how they fare there. Gladiators 9-5 on the road this season. Feels like they've been good on the road so far this year, but they really have a chance to solidify themselves as being a good road team, like a dominant road team with this upcoming road trip. So we'll see if Atlanta is able to take advantage of that and pick up points against teams that they're chasing. South Carolina and Florida should be interesting. But for the 2 home games coming up, we'll have one tomorrow, Sunday afternoon, 3:10 start time from Gas South Arena. Checking on the YouTube live chat, seems like a lot of you have already got your tickets, which is good, but make sure you tell your friends because there are still tickets available, but better hurry, they're going fast. And so that is the Country Boots and Frosty Roots game. Country-themed game should be a lot of fun. A lot of fun country-themed activations as well, country music. Going to be great, so make sure you head on over to Gas South Arena if you don't already have your tickets. And make sure you rope in your friends as well. Get them over to Gas South Arena for this fun one tomorrow. And then on Monday, Martin Luther King Jr. Day, Gladiators will have the Swamp Rabbits for the final game of the 3-3 at home, and that'll be the sensory-friendly game. So if you know someone that's a bit sensitive to light, sound, and things of that nature, this is really the game for them. You're going to tone things back a little bit, keep the lights on, tone the music down, make it a sensory-friendly experience for those who have any disabilities that might be affected by loud noises, flashing lights, things of that nature. So to make sure that everybody gets a chance to experience Gladiators hockey this season. There will also be a sensory-friendly room up on the concourse as well. So make sure you check it out. If you know someone that would benefit from a game like that, let them know. Let's see them out on Monday afternoon in the final game of the 3-3. And on that note, might want to get your tickets now and see the Gladiators now, because the Gladiators will not be back at home until February 4th. So Wednesday night, taking on the Florida Everblades. Gladiators going to be away from home for about 2 weeks, and so it's your last chance to see the Gladiators before February. So make sure to get your tickets and make sure you're there to catch some exciting Gladiators hockey. As for this one, we are about set for the start of the 3rd period. Gladiators and Swamp Rabbits getting ready to close this one out. Will Atlanta find their way back into this game? Will they force overtime, or will Greenville hang on? We shall see. Gladiators' 3rd period is their best scoring period this season. Atlanta, in 3rd periods this season, has outscored their opponents 33-21. And we'll see if they're able to keep Greenville off the board and get a few themselves to make this one a comeback in the upstate. Find out on the other side of the break, as that'll do it for the 2nd intermission report here from Greenville. We're back for period 3 after this.
More than just cookies.
Desserts now in rotation.
Gladiators hit the ice for the start of the 3rd period, wearing their blue jerseys with Gladiator gold numbers in trim. Will skate from right to left in the final frame of regulation. Greenville wearing white jerseys with orange numbers And blue trim escaped from left to right in the third, and as suspected, Isaiah Seville back on the ice for Greenville. Had an equipment malfunction at the end of the second period, was replaced by Matthias Scholl for about 2.5 minutes. Greenville did not surrender a goal in that time span and kept their 2-1 lead heading into the third. Gladiators want to try and find a way to solve the puzzle that is Isaiah Seville for the second time here tonight in the third period and make it a comeback on the road. Greenville with goals from Parker and Hausinger. Have a 2-1 lead over Cody Sylvester and the Atlanta Gladiators. Puck is dropped, third period underway. Atlanta trying to call the comeback. Walter gets shrugged off the puck by Polino in the neutral zone. Puck bumbles between the circles. On the dump in, Matier takes it to the end wall. Shoulder off of it by O'Hara. Goes into open space where it's ladled out to center by O'Brien. Greenville pumps it back down deep. Sentenfelter will play it. Sentenfelter 1-2 coming off a loss this season. Finds Walter up ahead for a snapshot that goes wide of Seville and out of play. 37 seconds into the third period. And like that idea from Walter, try and beat him low, try to sneak it into the far side, which would have been far right on Seville. Just a tad off target by about a foot, maybe less. Ends up going out of play. Never hit the boards and went straight up. Face off to the left of Seville. Alex Young in the second line out there. Young to take the face off against Mastrodonato. Alex Young, the former 7th round draft pick of the San Jose Sharks back in 2020. Take this face off against Mastrodonato. And Young is the victor. Conroy slides down the wall, centers. Puck is punched away by a poke check from Seville. Sends Mastrodonato on the move, but diving is Young to rip it out of his grasp. McNamee on the left wing digs deep, looks to center, puck in front. Young was tied up, couldn't get a shot away. Stick was lifted by Atkinson, and Greenville was able to punch it out to center. Gladiators lift it in deep, get off for a line change. McNamee continues to bully his way to the end wall. Greenville sneaks it to the line, hits the body of Jarvis, and stays in. Nolan tries to feather it to the line for Young, ends up getting picked off by Mastrodonato. Tries to muscle down the right wing wall, but he's cut off by Orzek. Series of quick passes, and Jarvis will bombard it back in. All the way around to the right wing wall. Cipolo leaves it for Francis. He'll backhand it to the line. Orzek scans the ice and shoots, tipped wide of Seville. Cipolo second chance. Seville makes the save. Rebound comes to Jarvis. He'll hold it in at the left point. Tries to fire it down the wall. Hits a swamp rabbit and is chucked out to center. Good chances for the Gladiators here to start the third period. Cross ice feed is intercepted by Peterson. Springs it to O'Reilly. Drop past their offside. Just 5 seconds under 2 minutes gone by in the third. Once again, another good shift for that second line. Young, Nolan, McNamee really like what that trio has been able to accomplish so far here tonight, and then follow it up with a couple of good sequences from Cipolone and Francis. We'll get a good look at this fourth line here for the first time in this third period. Scardina with Burns and Morgan. And Peter Morgan had a goal in the last game against Savannah, second of his pro career, to make it a one-goal game. And here he is now. Morgan flies down the right wing, looks to center for Burns. Once again, poke checked away by Seville. Puck loose at center. Morgan's got it back. He'll turn on the Jets again. Quickly finds Burns across, looking for Scardina. Sprawling out to break it up was Lovell. Nychuk with it from his own territory. Pops it back to Matier. Goes behind Septemfelter for a little bit of safety. Jolts it out to the neutral zone. Burns takes it up ice. Gets dropped by Berg over the blue line. Greenville with the puck. Hammers it off the near glass to the slot. Arabia cuts it off on the play intended for Polino. 17-10 left in the third period. Greenville still leads 2-1. Conroy whacks it off the right wing wall, tries to get it out. Held in by O'Hara. Slammed into the boards by Arabia and Walter. Walter passes across for Sylvester over the attacking line. O'Brien takes it to the near corner. Jockeying there, Sylvester as well. They try and outwork Berg, and they do. Sylvester below the goal line, centers for Walter. Initial shot is blocked. Backhand try, jumbles in front. O'Brien can't sneak it in. Off balance. Tried to find a way to swipe that puck in, but Seville keeps it out, and Greenville will clear. A little over 3.5 minutes gone by here in the third. Arabia, stationed behind Septenfelter, will get a lay of the land and start the next breakout. McNamee takes it in at center circle. Wires it wide left of Seville. Puck loose behind the net. Young fighting for it. Backhands it up top for Orzak, but he can't get the play alive. Mastrodonado tries to bulldoze past him, but Orzak is stronger. Silences the Maestro's tune. In is Nolan on the left wing now. Speared out to center by Parker Jones. Shandor tries to continue to push the narrative. Bottled up at the Gladiator blue line, and now Mastrodonado puts a puck into no man's land. It'll be rifled in deep by Atkinson, and Greenville make a wholesale change. Jarvis off the near wall locates Nolan, chips it down low in hopes of finding Denemy. Hits his skates, ends up coming to Peterson. Soft chip to the neutral zone, has Murphy on the run. Murphy into action, 9-year veteran, slinks his way to the end wall. Ends up losing the puck to Denemy. Greenville tiptoes it deeper, able to keep it in at the line. Looking for Murphy again. He'll exchange it with Peterson. From the near corner, those two continue to work. Up the wall is Peterson for DeYoung at the line. He'll fire. Septenfelter makes the save after it thuds off his pads and rolls into the near corner. Pass from low to high, escapes DeYoung, and the Gladiators will take this opportunity to get a line change in. Third line on, Denemy, Cipollone, Francis, Conroy, and Carabia, the two defensemen. Meanwhile, Lovell will wait behind Seville as Greenville will start their next breakout after surveying their options. Lovell keeps himself. Now a drop pass goes to Brackett. I don't think he quite knew that pass was initially going to come to him, so has to grind to a halt. Takes it back in on the left wing. And now he'll leave it for Lovell, who slingshots ahead. Lovell drops it left side. Return feed just out of his reach. Puck loose in the near wall. Comes to Burns at center. Spins it over to Francis. Steaking down the left wing. He'll cut in tight. Francis behind the net. Keeps it on the far wall. Spins to his forehands. Finds Cipollone at the half wall. Worked in behind the cage. Carabia pinching in. Works against Lovell. Carabia strong on it. Plays it up top to Conroy. From the left point. Slithers down the wall. Conroy feeds it inside. Looking for Cipollone. Ends up rolling off his stick, and Greenville will clear. Bouncing puck to the left wing. Parker hauls it in. Parker checked hard at the end wall by Carabia. It forces him from the puck. Atlanta will take their chances up ice. Peter Morgan sees the pass just escape his reach on the right wing. Greenville shimmies it down to Septenfelter, replays it into the far corner. Scardina yanks it out of that pile. Spins it up top to Morgan. SUNY Geneseo product finds Burns. Wheels it back to Conroy. A turn feed out of the reach of Burns, hits the stick of Berg, and goes out of play with 13:14 to go in the third. Timeout on the ice will take one as well. Greenville leads it 2-1 as we approach the midway point of period 3. We are back to Greenville after this.
Why choose between getting things done and doing things with the ones you love? With Kroger's same-day pickup and delivery, it's easy to shop the same great prices and quality you'd find in-store, so you can catch more family time. We'll bring your groceries right to you. Satisfaction guaranteed, so you can spend time on what matters most. Kroger, fresh for everyone.
It's game day and Bucky's ready for action. From the moment he pulls up, it's all smiles, high fives, and Beaver Toyota pride. A quick stop for snacks and he's game ready. The energy in the arena starts to build because when Beaver Toyota and the Gladiators team up, the fun and excitement never stop. Catch Bucky at the next Gladiators game or visit us anytime at beavertoyotacoming.com.
13-14 to go in the third period. Swamp Rabbits lead the Gladiators 2-1, and Atlanta's done a good job of pressuring here in the third period, but just 3 shots on goal in about the first 7 minutes. Going to need a little bit more if they want to beat Seville and the Swamp Rabbits. They've done a good job of limiting Greenville's chances here in the third, but at a certain point in time, they're going to have to find a way to convert on some of their own. And I look at this top line: Sylvester, O'Brien, Walter. Feels like that is the trio that is the most likely to get the job done for the Gladiators. This is their top line. Sylvester, proven veteran in this league. Walter, the up-and-coming youngster, and O'Brien, second-year forward. Really making a name for himself headed to the All-Star game on Monday. Here's a centering feed that leaks up top. Orzak fires, blocked in front. And now Hausinger will take it up ice. Shot was blocked by O'Hara. He'll squirm deep into the near corner. Orzak keeps it away from him in that area. Getting help from Sylvester. They try and clank it off the wall and out. Ends up rolling it on Semptifelter, who keeps play moving. Puck behind him. Reeled in by Polino on his forehand. Tries to drag it deeper, but Gladiators cut that pass off. O'Brien strips it away, and on the move is Walter. Into action, Walter down the middle. Nothing forthcoming there. Good defensive stand by the Swamp Rabbits. They'll cast it back out to center. 12-19 left in the third. Sheriff from the right wing takes a shot, kick saves Semptifelter. Angles the rebound to Nolan, who floats it to the blue line, where it's initially held in by Mastrodonato, but he's bumped off of it. Nine-chuck and the Gladiators look to go up ice, but turnover ends that. 8 minutes gone by in the third. At center ice, Sheriff pops it to the left wing, takes in the return feed, dangles to the left circle. Semptifelter is able to punch it away. Comes out with the stick, knocks it off his stick, and now Young on the right wing blasts it from corner to corner. 11:38 left in the third period. McNamee crunches Sheriff on the near wall. Parker Berg shimmies behind Seville. Feathers it to the right wing for Sheriff, who sidesteps his way over center circle. Sheriff lugging it in on the right side. Puts it into the near corner in hopes of finding O'Reilly. Instead, it's caught up to by Carabia. Body's pinned up into that corner wall. A little over 11 minutes to go. Escaping from that area is Alex Young. On the run is Conroy. Takes a check before dumping the puck in. He'll swerve over to the right corner where Denemy sees it go over to the left. Conroy from that corner chases it to the end wall. Francis motors up the wall. Leaves it for Jarvis. Quick exchange. Jarvis in tight. And Seville hugs the post to keep it out. Good chance for Jarvis. Really good shot. Still looking for his first goal of the season. No better chance than that one. But Seville able to hug up against the near post, keep that puck out. Remains a 2-1 Greenville lead. Shot count 29-21 in favor of Greenville. Face off on the near circle. Cipollone in the third line out. Cipollone will take this face off against O'Reilly. Face off is won by Cipollone. Has Francis at the line. Francis loses his balance. Finds Orzak on the right wing just in time. Behind the net, Denemy takes it in. Puts it up top to Jarvis. Tries to redistribute down deeper. Gladiators looking for a penalty as Carabia lost the stick and gets stood up in front of the net. Make that Cipollone. As Francis from the right point takes a shot. His stick breaks. Here's an opportunity for O'Reilly. Breakaway. Inside O'Reilly is stopped by Semptifelter. Semptifelter gives the Gladiators a chance. It remains a one-goal game. Unfortunate break. The stick breaking for Francis. Sets up the breakaway for O'Reilly. Semptifelter makes another highlight reel stop. Here is Cipollone, barreling in on the left wing, wheels it into the corner. Morgan working there as well. 2 Gladiators, 2 Swamp Rabbits. Everybody wants a piece of that puck, and so far, Cipollone's got it. Centers for Burns. Snapshot fought off by Seville. Puck available at the right point. They hammer it down deeper. Nychuk pinches into press. Greenville able to evade him and float it back out the center. 9:30 to go in the third period. Morgan wires it in. Seville out to play it. Slows it down on the trapezoid. Plays it to Murray in the near corner. Quickly over to the far side. They get it to Parker. Exit attempt held in by Burns. Second is able to be muscled out to the neutral zone. Nychuk right back in from the left wing. Looks to center. Puck off the stick and out of play with 9:07 to go in the third. Timeout on the ice. We will take one as well. Gladiators pushing, pressing, but can't score. Septemfelter robs O'Reilly on a breakaway to keep it a 2-1 game. We are back to Greenville after this.
Life's too short for ordinary whiskey. Make it infamous. Now available at Mega Package Store, 2820 Lawrenceville, Sewanee, Oregon. 4 miles from Gas South Arena.
We're 20, and yeah, we're celebrating big. Because in 20 years, we didn't just make the gear. We made hockey cooler. They said we were too loud, too flashy, too different. They told us to tone it down. The Warriors don't tone it down. We go full throttle. And this is just the start. 20 years in and we're just getting warmed up. We're still the brand that makes the gear you can win in, chirping, partying. And if you thought we were bold before, just wait. The next 20 years start now.
9:07 to go in the third period. Greenville hanging on to the 2-1 lead that they acquired in the second period. Latest goal in this game off the stick of Cam Hausinger. Came with 3:37 left in the second period, and that has been our score ever since. Faced off on the far circle. Gladiators on the power play. Remy Parker in the box. Atlanta with a chance to tie this game on the man advantage. Quick pass to the slot. Oh, what a stop by Seville. Point blank on Young. Greenville will clear. In the break, Parker sent to the box for Greenville. Gladiators get their second power play opportunity of the night. So far 0 for 1. Nychuk to Young. This Gladiators top unit remains out there. Nychuk maneuvers through the neutral zone. Goes right in on the attack. At the right point. Room for Young. Use it for Nychuk. Now has it back in on the right side. Young. Then Nychuk at the point. Across he goes to Sylvester. Sylvester back to Nychuk. He'll hold. Delay. A chance for Young. That's turned aside by Seville. They get it back to Young on the right wing. Looking downhill. Feeds it across. Walter shoots. Stops Seville. And Greenville will clear. Remy Parker gets called for delay of game for our last whistle. And that's why the Gladiators are on the power play. 43 seconds left on that. Power play presented by Eco Electric. Gladiators dig it in deep. Francis behind the cage. Knocks it up the far wall. Greenville pushes it out. Orzek at the red line. Tries to pump it ahead. Swamp Rabbits have that as well. Shot by Berg. Blocked by Orzek. And now Burns will have possession for the Gladiators. Drop it off to Orzek. Burns to Nolan across the attacking line. To Mateer from the left circle. Delays to Orzek. Turning. Finds Francis. Pass across. Nolan fires. Save made by Seville. Greenville clears out the center. And that'll just about do it for the power play. Parker out of the box. Back to even strength. Francis behind the net. Swerves to the forehand. Looks to center. Pinball's out to the neutral zone. Under 7 minutes to go. Septenfelter plays it out to center ice for Mateer. He'll slap it over the red line. Get back into defensive position. Donato knocks it into Gladiator territory from the end wall. Conroy loses an edge but gets help from Denemy. He'll push it to the outside from the near half wall. They're bouncing into the air and plopping down behind Septenfelter, and they're going to say that it went out of play with 6:30 to go. Gladiators trying to avoid a season-long losing streak of 3 games with a comeback victory here tonight. Still very much in the picture, only down by 1. All it takes is a shot, a bounce, a tip. One thing to go your way, and had a couple of good chances on that power play, but Seville able to keep it out. Face off on the near circle. Won by Greenville, blast by Parker Jones. Goes into the glove of Septenfelter with 6:27 on the clock. Face off to the left of Septenfelter. And Master Donato will take this against Cipollone. Cipollone's won it back to Carabia. Pounds it to the neutral zone, glove down by Sheriff. Greenville with control. Master Donato has it. Flings it to his left for Atkinson. Peels away from the pressure from Cipollone and reconnects with Master Donato. Sheriff stymied on the attacking line. Gladiators shovel at the length of the ice, and Denemy will not beat out Parker Jones. Icing on Atlanta. 5:57 left in regulation. Face off to the left of Septenfelter. Cipollone will take it against Hausinger. Tied up off the draw. Puck goes to the wall. Polino scoots it behind the cage. Carabia quickly slaps it to Denemy, and he has his pocket picked, but thankfully Carabia there in the area. Keep the puck in the hands of the Gladiators. Carabia bulldozes his way down the left wing, gets rubbed off the puck down deep, and checks DeYoung behind the cage, and he's holding his wrist. DeYoung will work his way back to the Greenville bench. He appears to be in some discomfort. Immediately dropped his stick and went over off the ice. The puck will go out of play with 5:21 to go in the third period. DeYoung, the defenseman for Greenville, receiving some medical attention. See if the Swamp Rabbits will get his services back here later in the third period. Greenville 2, Atlanta 1, 5:21 to go in regulation. Stick around, we'll find out how this one ends on the other side of the break.
Wendy's has new chicken tenders. Crispy, juicy, tendery, tendies. Ooh, that's fun to say. Tendies, tendies, tendies. And they're so good, maybe we should change our... For tendies you're gonna know by name, gotta be Wendy's.
Gwinnett Fire and Emergency Services is ready to answer the call, but we'd rather prevent them. Our free home safety survey includes checking smoke alarms, identifying common hazards, and reviewing your family's home escape plan. Schedule yours today.
More than just cookies.
Desserts now in rotation.
Gladiators trail by 1. Greenville leads it 2-1, 5:21 to go. Top line out there for Atlanta. Sylvester, O'Brien, and Walter. That is our last time out of regulation. Here on out, see if it's a Gladiator comeback attempt. Successful. We shall see. Sylvester crunches a man on the near boards. That was Murray taking the full force of the captain in the neutral zone to force a sim from the puck. And Sylvester will go up ice. Takes in a pass on the left wing and is checked off of it by Hausinger. Now you reap what you sow. On the right wing, Gladiators trying to get the puck back, but Greenville's going to catch up to it. And Sylvester gets a bit of both worlds there on the shift. Cutting towards the net, chance for O'Hara. So Simptonvelter makes the save. And the outlet to Sylvester. Cross ice dump in. Walter chases it into the far corner. Atkinson is there as Walter loses his balance. Jarvis in the neutral zone, chips it back into McNamee. From the left wing, puck is scrubbed off his stick by Murphy. Nolan from neutral ice, slams it in behind Seville. McNamee on the forecheck to get something going. Puck spat back out to center by the Swamp Rabbits with 4:15 on the clock. Young motoring back in, splits two Swamp Rabbits but can't get around another. Atkinson takes it in on the near corner, shuffles it across to the far wall. Greenville trying to muscle out. For the moment, the Gladiators keep. Here is McNamee for a shot off the glove of Seville and out of harm's way. O'Reilly feeds it to the right wing. Orzek can't keep it alive. Jarvis hauls it in at center. Under 4 minutes to go. Young from the left wing. Slams it behind the cage. Lovell reverses to the far corner. Murray between the legs finds Shandor. Cross ice feed. Cannot be hauled in by Mastrodonato. The Gladiators work it back in. Denemy from the left wing. Pops it back out to center. Francis right at the logo. Backhands it to the right wing for Cipolo. They'll skip it into the near corner. Murray shuffles it aside. From the far side now, getting the work is Cipolo. Leaves it for Francis. Up top is Conroy. Conroy scans the ice and fakes himself out. Puck goes out to the neutral zone. Able to swipe it away from Mastrodonato at just the last second. Conroy with the back. Outlets to Cipolone. Bottled up at the blue line. Francis swerving. Deakin keeps the play alive. Denemy angles it off the end wall for Cipolone. Back to Denemy in the far corner. Centering feed. Nobody home. Greenville tosses out the center with 2:43 to go. We'll keep an eye on Simptonvelter. Still between the pipes for now. Gladiators slide it in deep. On the near wall, Atkinson casts it back out to center. Bouncing puck, handled by Mateer. Distributes to the left wing for Nychuk. Centers for O'Brien. Backhand shot. Kick save Seville. Puck pinballs around and Greenville's got it. They'll skate it out to center. Poke check from the Gladiators. Nice read by Nychuk. Sets up O'Brien to Sylvester. He'll shoot. Shot is blocked by Atkinson. Captain with the rebound. And we have a whistle with 2:11 to go. And looks like the net behind Seville had come off. That's why they blew the whistle. Tough break for the Gladiators who were pressing in that moment. And looks like we've got a timeout called. I believe Matt Ginn has used his timeout to rest up his big guns. We're going to see if Simptonvelter just hops on the bench from here and stays there. The puck is at the dot right in front of the Swamp Rabbits bench. So it'll be a neutral zone face-off. Not sure if the Gladiators would want to pull Simptonvelter with the puck in that area. Normally you'd like to wait for an offensive zone draw in a situation like this. But you have to figure the personnel for the Gladiators, likely Nychuk, O'Brien, Sylvester, Alex Young, typically power play guys, will be out there for this sequence. And that's exactly who's on the ice, mulling around the bench. And I guess the only question right now is if you add the sixth, if Simptonvelter comes to the bench for the extra attacker. Meanwhile, Jason Payne, the associate coach for Greenville, drawing up a play for their guys as well, out of the timeout. So looks like they're going to move this puck back to the left of Seville. Simptonvelter going to hop on the bench. Net empty for Atlanta. 2:11 to go. 6-on-5. Gladiators with the extra attacker. Personnel is Walter, Young, O'Brien, Sylvester, Francis, and Nightchuck. 5 forwards, 1 defenseman. Face-off is won by Greenville. Atkinson looks to clear. Nightchuck keeps it alive for now. They pressure out the center. Full-on blitz from Greenville. Francis back to keep possession for Atlanta. Backhands it, leaves it for Nightchuck. Racing in is Mastrodonato. Able to steal it away. Cuts to the net. Boxed away. Stopped by Young. And it stays out. 3 shot blocks from Alex Young to keep the Gladiators alive. Dump it down. Sylvester beats out the icing. Unbelievable. Out to center. Hausinger as it poked away. They'll rip it to the left wing wall or Nightchuck will control. 1:32 to go. Ooh, remember that play from Alex Young. The Gladiators tie this one up. They work it in deep. Sylvester angles it to the right corner for Walter. Up top they go. Young keeps it alive. Back to Walter. Right circle. Down low wants O'Brien. He's got him. From behind the net they exchange. Walter shoots. Seville stops it and freezes with 65 seconds to go. Face off to the right of Seville. Cipollone on now with McNamee, Nolan, Burns, Conroy, and Mateer. Net still empty. Conroy across to Mateer. 1 minute to go. Mateer rips it to the end wall. Burns leaves it for Cipollone. From the goal line centers. Puck is loose. Comes to the line. Conroy keeps it alive. At the left point, drops it down to Cipollone. Back up top, Conroy handles again. Return to Cipollone from the near corner. He'll scan the ice and shoot. It's blocked. Now at the line, Conroy fumbles, can't keep it alive. Has to come back out to the neutral zone. 37 seconds left. They'll slip it into the near corner. Cipollone is there, pinned up against the boards. Greenville fires to the empty net. It'll bounce and go wide. Icing on the Swamp Rabbits with 23.9 to go. The Gladiators have already used their timeout, but they did get to rest their big guns over the last 30, 40 seconds or so, and so they come back out here now. Walter, Young, Sylvester, O'Brien, Francis, and Nightchuck. Face off on the far circle. Young will take it against Shandor. Young wins the face-off. Sylvester has it, tries to get it to the line, but it's a miscommunication. Francis didn't see it coming, has to scamper back out to get it from in deep. Finds Nightchuck on the move, 10 seconds to go. Nightchuck to Sylvester, back to the inside, hits a skate, Greenville clears, and it'll go all the way down. No icing, and oh no, there is. They are going to call the icing with 0.6 of a second left. Oh, that was a very delayed whistle, and I wonder if they're going to put any time back on the clock. Referee Chaz notes she's talking about it right now at the scorer's table. And they're going to put a 2.5 seconds on the game clock. That's enough time. Young will be tasked with the faceoff. He has to win it up against Hausinger on the near dot. Sylvester primed for the shot. Young wins it. Sylvester can't get a shot away. And that's all. The Swamp Rabbits survive. Gladiators comeback attempt here in the third period. Not enough. Isaiah Seville, with a little bit of help from Matthias Scholl at the end of the second period, gets the job done. Seville earns the win, and Greenville ends a 6-game Gladiator win streak over the Swamp Rabbits with a 2-1 victory here at Bon Secours Wellness Arena. That's how it goes sometimes. Gladiators had some good scoring opportunities in this game. Weren't able to get the job done. And both Greenville wins in this rivalry this season. The netminder between the pipes, Isaiah Seville. Seville, the former fifth-round draft pick of the Vegas Golden Knights back in 2019, picks up his 4th win of the season in his 8th start. Greenville outshoots Atlanta 33-27 in this contest. Gladiators, again, too little, too late for the 3rd straight game. Not enough here tonight on the road. Well, the 9-6 in enemy territory this season and 21-9 overall. Greenville with their win gets back to 500, ends a 2-game losing streak, and improves to 14-4. All good things got to come to an end, don't they? As that's what they say. Gladiators dominated the Swamp Rabbits for 6 straight games in this rivalry. That comes to a close here tonight. Isaiah Seville, the 3rd star of the game. Honestly, probably number 1 in my book. This is the main reason I feel like the Gladiators lost here tonight. I mean, they got goalied a little bit. You got to give Seville a lot of credit. Made some big stops when the Gladiators had some grade A chances. And, I feel like half of that rests on Seville, made some great saves. And the other half of that is just execution. There were a lot of times here tonight where the Gladiators just weren't able to execute. Had some chances, but all in all, just couldn't put the cherry on top. And Mastrodonato, 2nd star of the night with 2 assists, throws out a T-shirt, and number 1 star of the game for Greenville, Cam Hausinger, with a game-winning goal, coming on the power play back in the 2nd period. They extended his point streak to 7 straight games. And so here is how it all shook out. No scoring in the 1st period. Go to the 2nd. Greenville puts one in early. 1:33 into the 2nd period. It is Parker off a tip-in from Atkinson and Mastrodonato, make it a 1-0 Greenville lead. Cody Sylvester and the Gladiators bit back, though, with a goal of their own. Sylvester scores from Carabia, 5:04 into the 2nd period. And then later on in the period, in the final 5 minutes, Greenville goes to the power play and they score. It is Hausinger with the game-winning goal from Mastrodonato and O'Hara. We get a 2-1 final score. No goals in the 1st, no goals in the 3rd, and that is all from Bon Secours Wellness Arena. Gladiators outshot again, 33-27, and that's become a recurring theme this season. The Gladiators slow and steady when it comes to building up shots throughout the course of a game, and so 7 shots on goal in the 1st period for Atlanta, 11 shots in the 2nd period, and then 9 in the 3rd to get to 27 for Greenville. 9 shots on goal in the 1st period, 18 in the 2nd, 6 in the 3rd, brings their total for the night to 33. And so you think about this Gladiators team now and where they're at this point in the season. You fall to 21-9, you're still very much there with the Floridas, the South Carolinas of the world. You're right there, aren't you? But at this stage, you're finally feeling a little bit of adversity. It's a 72-game season. You're gonna face moments like this. You're gonna find yourself in these situations. 3-game losing streak now. It's the longest of the season, and that speaks volumes considering where this Gladiators team is at. I mean, for the 3-game losing streak to be the biggest of their worries this year, you've really had a great year to this point, haven't you? And so for the Gladiators, think about it this way. Yes, you got back to full strength, right? Albeit the only man out due to injury is Brendan Luss. Otherwise, you're just about there, the max capacity of your roster and your top guys. But it's been some time since these guys have played with each other. Isaac Walter has not played with the Gladiators since the 21st of December, the final game before the Christmas break and the players' strike. Remember, he missed time after that. They didn't play that weekend due to the strike, and then he got loaned to Milwaukee. Missed the last 4 games. He's back. He's playing with a new centerman in Jack O'Brien on that top line with Cody Sylvester. Mike McNamee back in the lineup for the first time in about a month. Hadn't played since the 6th of December. I missed the last 11 games. Looked really good on that second line with Young and Nolan, but again, you think about executing plays. That comes with chemistry. That comes with time. And this Gladiators team, yes, they get those guys back in the lineup, but it's going to take a little bit of time for them to get back to playing Gladiator hockey in its purest form. There was flashes of it tonight. I thought this was a much better improvement from what we saw over the last few games against the Savannah Ghost Pirates. But all in all, it was kind of like having a picture saved on your phone, but you re-download it and the quality just doesn't come through the best. Like, you can still tell what the picture is, but it's a little pixelated and it doesn't look all that great. It's the difference between high definition and standard definition. I felt that's like what we saw from the Gladiators here tonight. There were moments where it was crystal clear, looked HD, and then there were other moments where it looked all right, but we know it can be better. We've seen them be better this season. And so I think moving forward for this Gladiators team, the sentiment from the summer all the way to now was that this Gladiators team, win or lose, they always wanted to be in it right until the final buzzer. They were there right towards the very end of this game. They were there. And so, that kind of speaks to me as a team that is close and has almost found its way there. But now, with a little bit of adversity, I wonder how this Gladiators team will handle it heading back home tomorrow to play the Swamp Rabbits on Sunday and Monday afternoon. I think this is an opportunity for the Gladiators to really right the ship here and gain some momentum heading into their season-long 7-game road trip, which I think they're very much going to need. I think they're going to need a couple of home wins here to cap off the 3-3 against Greenville before they head into really the gauntlet of their season against some monster teams in the division like South Carolina and Florida. Orlando there as well. They've been playing better as of late. And they cap it off with the game against Greensboro on a school game. I think we're going to see what this Gladiators team is made of over the next 10 games or so. It'll be interesting to see. So right now, at this stage in the season, do I still believe that the Gladiators are right there with the Everblades and the Stingrays? Yes. Yes, I do. But I think right now, this Gladiators team has just had so many moving parts that they just need a little bit of time to reacclimate themselves to what they have with their roster and the way that these lines are being rolled out, personnel-wise. And I think once they do that, I think they'll be fine. No reason to panic here tonight. Gladiators still put together a good effort. Just couldn't find a way to find the back of the net more than once. All right, let's take a look at the out-of-town scoreboard here before we cap off the post-game show and head on back to Duluth. Final score from North Charleston Coliseum. Savannah looks like they're going to win 8 games in a row. Ghost Pirates lead the Stingrays 4-1 at North Charleston Coliseum. And so, you can look at that game very well in the same lens that you looked at the last 2 games against Savannah in this game from the Gladiators' perspective. You think the Stingrays are hitting the panic button after losing to Savannah, a hot team at home? Gladiators face the same situation. I don't think the Stingrays are going to hit the panic button, so I don't think the Gladiators should as well. They'll bounce back. It's just Savannah's been a very hot team as of late. Savannah's won 8 in a row. Over at Hertz Arena, Icemen have a 2-1 lead over the Everblades. Again, if you're Florida in this game, if you end up losing this, are you hitting the panic button? No, I don't think you are. And I think these 3 teams are in similar situations at this point in their seasons. Again, Florida still has a period to figure out here tonight. But again, case in point that I'm trying to make is that there really is no reason to panic at this juncture for the Gladiators, who have played the least amount of games out of any team in the league at the end of the night. And over at Kia Center, the Solar Bears have a 3-1 lead over the Steelheads after 2 periods of play. So, all in all, Gladiators get a little bit of help from the Ghost Pirates here tonight. Kicking down the Stingrays, which means South Carolina doesn't increase that gap, but all of a sudden you think about the Savannah Ghost Pirates and the way that they've been playing as of late. Now the Gladiators have a little pressure on their ears, don't they? Because now that gap between Atlanta and Savannah is just 5 points. But again, keep in mind, Savannah's played 4 more games than the Gladiators have. And that is one of the keys right now. Gladiators do have many games in hand over their opponents in the South Division. They just got to win them. As far as the special teams battle goes here tonight, Atlanta goes 0 for 2 on the power play and 2 for 3 on the penalty kill. Greenville's game-winning goal from Hausinger was scored on the man advantage. And that ends up being the difference here tonight. Gladiators won't dwell on it too much, take the good from the bad, head on home here tonight, and we'll do it all again tomorrow afternoon, 3 o'clock start time from Gas South Arena. Frosty Boots and Country Roots night. Make sure they're there. Get your tickets if you haven't already got them at AtlantaGladiators.com, and tell your friends, rope them in on the country theme night. Get them over to Gas South tomorrow, and we'll have some fun. Get your boots, get your hats. Should be a good one, and it always is when these 2 teams get together. Final note, 8 meetings between these 2 teams so far this season. 7 of the 8 have been decided by 2 goals or less. Gladiators right there in it, right until the end. Just couldn't get it done. The comeback falls short on the road. Final score from Bon Secours Wellness Arena. Greenville Swamp Rabbits 2, Atlanta Gladiators 1. I'd like to thank the Swamp Rabbits for their hospitality here tonight. We'll exchange the favor tomorrow afternoon and on Monday at Gas South Arena. Thank you for watching this presentation of the ECHL. I'm Guy Chiarenza saying good night and so long, and we'll see you tomorrow afternoon in the rematch between Atlanta and Greenville.